election happened, if you didn't know. And things have gone horribly wrong, okay? You know, election day came, Tuesday, the fated Tuesday that we only have once every 4 years. It came. I went to the voting booth for the very first time. I went to the voting booth. I got in there. It was actually pretty short because I got there early. Pays to fucking be able to wake up early like a normal person. I went there. I got it done. It was weird because they like, I guess they have a thing where they like celebrate first time voters. Got like clapped for a second, and that was slightly uncomfortable. They gave me a sticker that said first time voter, and they like yelled out to the room first time voter, and then people like clapped and like cheered briefly. So that was a little awkward. But I did that. I got in the booth. I placed my vote. I placed the most important vote I've ever placed. Okay, this is the most important election in history. And you know, I got out there and I did my part, and still the result I feared came to pass. Still, the thing that I feared most has happened. The bill to legalize weed in Florida has been denied. It's truly a tragedy.
No.
It's truly a tragedy. I got out and I voted for what my heart believed in, and it wasn't enough. And I lost. The most important election of my life, and I lost. The weed has not been legalized. It's a loss, chat. Also, Trump won, and now we're gonna be in crazy right wing super America. So that's not
He's
good
got a
either.
super majority.
But no weed for us in Florida, and that's the real tragedy. That's the reason I went. You know, I went for Kamala. I did go for Kamala. Like, the voting day was coming up, and I was like, I'm gonna have to wake up really early. I really want to bother. I probably would have gone anyway, but I was kind of thinking about maybe skipping out on it. And then somebody was like, you know, legalizing weed is on the ballot. And I was like, fucking, the first priority, immediately. Gotta get there. But it got
You
shot
forgot
down. It
about
didn't.
eating there for a second, didn't you?
Yeah, no, I don't think I even ate breakfast. No, I ate breakfast after. I fucking got ready. I left my house immediately to go vote. I could have been in that line for hours, and I wouldn't have eaten, and I would have been totally fine because I was there for one purpose and one purpose only. And I
Only
got there, and
voting.
I voted, and I did my part, and I lost on both counts. I lost the president I wanted to have, we do not have, and the weed I wanted to have, we do not have. It's a full loss for me. With that,
Fucking
folks,
Christians.
welcome to Detour Ahead. I'm Riely. Here's the winner, the one who won this week. One Alex, who's really looking festive over there.
As the great Dick Masterson says, everything is a contest. And
Everything
unfortunately
is a
for
contest.
you, I won this week.
You did win the contest. Also joining us is Brad, famous centrist Brad, fence sitter. Demi Gloom hates him. Brad the Bad.
I'm not even far
What's
right.
sad is
That's why I think this is funny. I'm not even far right. That's why I think this is funny, but you know, whatever. It's also a good bit.
I'm pretty far left, surprisingly. Like, I take the political compass test, and like, I have these few qualities that make the left think I'm basically a right winger and not like me.
I was
But when
gonna
I
send
take an
you a
actual
Harris
test,
Walls shirt, by the way.
when I take an
What is-
actual test based on political policies, I always end up very far left.
what are your right wing policies? I don't get it.
It's literally just my vehement support for free speech. Like, I think you should be able to say whatever you want, no matter what.
See, I don't even think that's a far right policy. That's like in the middle.
People think it is. I'm not, because I don't believe in hate
Unfortunately, it
speech.
is,
Mostly,
though.
I believe that the only speech that should ever be censored under any circumstance is direct threats of violence. Like,
Riely
let's all
supports
burn
hate
this
speech.
guy's house down.
Hold on.
Let's all fucking kill these guys.
I want to be very, very clear. You are not allowed to give any more examples of hate speech on this show. YouTube has already told me The last time we had a
You
free
beat
speech
that.
talk.
The MoCast did it, and we didn't even win the appeal. You won the fucking appeal.
Of course, because I told him this was an example of what hate speech is.
We got fucking dude. The strike on the I will never get over the fucking strike on the MoCast. Brad,
I won the appeal in
literally-
24 hours.
You know, I do like 87 podcasts. I do a show called The MoCast with my buddy Mo.
Yeah,
I've met him
I know
once or
Mo.
twice. And we did his podcast, and we were making fun. I won't go into specifics for this podcast
Thank
safety,
you.
but we were making fun of people who are like crazy about COVID and think that like the COVID vaccine causes ill effects. And we were literally doing like a dumb voice. We were like, duh, duh, and we were doing like saying things that they would say. And we got struck for medical misinformation because of the things we said in the dumb voice, and we appealed it, and they denied it. That episode is still not on YouTube.
Re-upload.
How did he win?
Wait, was this under Susan? Did it
No.
get struck under Susan?
No, this was long. Neil Mohan had long taken his throne. Susan wasn't dead yet. But she was not working at YouTube anymore.
Susan sucked my cocky.
I don't have to speak ill of the dead.
No, you don't want to speak ill of the dead.
I don't like to speak ill of the dead.
Do you
That's
know
one of
how
my
many
things.
videos were lost to the ether because of Susan?
Susan's
How much
bad.
glorious
Susan's
content
bad.
was lost?
I definitely hate Susan. Like the reason Monkey
Who are
Jones
y'all
has
talking
had
about? Are you
such
talking about
a
that fucking? Who is Susan?
the CEO, the old CEO of YouTube, Susan Wojcicki. She was the
Oh.
previous CEO of YouTube.
Susan sucked my
Back
cocky.
in like I think it was like 2016 to 2022, like the exact time that all the censorship was happening like crazy on YouTube.
I feel like
Susan
I
Wojcicki
feel like
was
her
the
middle name is
CEO.
probably Karen.
Susan Karen Wojcicki. She has since passed away. It's actually really, that's why I don't like to make fun of Susan, because the fucking circumstances are so awful, where her son killed himself and then a year later she died of cancer.
See, if you stay
It's
ignorant
fucking
like I am,
awful.
if you stay ignorant like I am, you can make fun of anything because you're not informed well enough to feel bad for her.
Is this when did you just learn for the first time that Susan Wojcicki's son killed himself one
No,
year
I knew
before she
about
died
that.
of cancer?
I've joked about that on the show before.
Oh, it's so sad.
Well, I'm sorry for the family. I mean, like, anyway. Yeah, we're not going to talk about hate speech here because the last time we did, I got a strike on my channel. I got it appealed though, because
I'm sick of it, bro. This show I'm ready for this show to become a Rumble show at any time. I'm just flying. I'm doing what I want to do here, okay?
I'm not trying to censor you. I'm just letting you know. If you give an example of hate speech, Mr.
gonna get in
YouTube
trouble, I know.
CEO doesn't like it anymore. He doesn't like it.
You know what I
Not a
hate?
fan. Not a fan.
You know what I hate? Hate speech.
Wow,
hate
brave
speech.
take. Fucking so stunning and brave.
Very,
Thank
very
you.
brave. I'm so proud of you.
But yeah, we've had this debate about hate speech before, but like I think that all forms of hate speech besides direct forms of violence should be completely free and allowed to say. There are a lot of people who would disagree, and they would say that that speaking ill of a particular group somehow implies violence inherently, which I don't fucking subscribe to at all. You're allowed to say I hate X group of people as long as you're not saying let's go kill them. Like it's fine to say it's fine to say you hate them.
You're getting dangerous. Let's move on. You're making me nervous
I'm
here.
not naming any specific groups of people.
No,
I'm just
but
saying
you're making me nervous about this because I can already hear the parallels to the
Certain
last
groups of people.
episode.
certain
Stop.
groups.
You should definitely be able to voice your opinion, no matter how ignorant or stupid it is.
Yeah,
Maybe
I agree.
sometimes they don't switch the batteries in their fire alarms, but that's not their fault.
there was a moment in time a few weeks ago where I thought I found a sound bit of a smoke alarm beep, and I was gonna put it in the show. I wasn't even gonna tell you. I was just gonna put it in the background and just see if anybody noticed or bothered to like message me and be like, "Is that a smoke alarm beep?"
Riley,
Yeah,
I'm,
what's
I'm
up,
glad
Brad?
I'm glad you said that joke because the other day at work, I was at work and I have this black friend and we tell each other racist jokes for the whole shift. That's like our thing. And I said something that made him mad. He was joking with me. He picked up one of the big knives and he was like, "You're talking mad shit for somebody who ain't got a knife in their hand." And I said, Deontay, that knife isn't what scares me. It's your skin color.
No, you say you're talking mad shit for someone.
I thought you were gonna say that knife isn't
I'm
what
talking
scared me.
mad
It's the
shit because I
fact that
got
I'm-
nine
it's the fact
911
that
on
I'm-
speed dial.
It's not the knife. It's not the knife that scares me. It's the fact that I fear that I'll lose my life in a fire whenever I'm in your house because you won't change your fire alarm battery. Why is
Anyway,
that the new dog whistle?
what, the smoke alarm?
Yeah, it's so funny.
There was like a little study that was shown where like people think that means it's working. The beep means it's working.
Gingy had that for a long time. You remember?
Yes, I fucking
He
remember.
had that?
I would just like to go on the record that there are no beeps in this apartment.
The Chromebook doesn't like Gingy, so I won't call him. But yeah, he fucking he's got the smoke alarm going on.
I would like to say there are no smoke alarms going. There's no smoke alarm beeps going on in this apartment over here.
I don't think I've heard a beep from Gingy in a long time, but there was definitely an era of Pixels where I was constantly like, "What the fuck is that beep?" And I don't think he ever told me what it was. I think it was
Smoke alarm.
later I figured out it was fire alarm.
Yeah, that's smoke
He said
alarm.
he said it's just like something in his house that he can't get rid of, or
No,
like
that's
something
probably
really
the smoke
vague.
alarm because he didn't
like
change
that.
the battery.
Oh, Gingy.
Holy
Gingy
shit,
is
we're
one
talking
with
about him.
other communities. Did he just contact you?
Yeah. Let's see what
He
Gingy
knows.
wanted.
He knows.
Gingy wants to listen in.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, that's what
You
I
think
said.
I- you
Sure,
think-
why not? I'm
You
gonna
think I
I'm
should
gonna mute
mention-
I'm gonna mute him though. Don't worry. He's not part of this episode. This is Brad's episode. Bradthebad101.
You can mute him after I grill him about his fire alarm.
No,
He's
no,
gonna do
no.
a
It's
drop
funny.
in.
It's funnier if you don't talk about it.
It's
Or
101,
maybe
by
it's
the
funny
way,
if I
not
do
102.
talk about it and we don't let him talk. Like that fucking idiot with his fire alarm. What a fucking.
He's not even in
what a
here.
fucking
Okay.
goofball.
What were we talking about before you were talking about hate speech?
Gingy's fire alarm.
No, that was after we were talking about hate speech. We talked about Gingy's fire alarm.
We were talking about how I am the fucking winner of this week.
That's true.
That's what
You
we were
did
talking
win.
about.
You are the true victor of this. You. Riley lost. Riley lost because his votes fucking suck.
Because you
Alex
live in a
is the
red
winner.
state.
But yeah, my vote didn't mean shit, really.
It's Florida. Florida kind of flip flops. They're not all just red.
Well, see,
I fucking. Is it time for me to admit how retarded I am?
oh,
Is it time for me
absolutely.
to
Yeah, go ahead.
admit my full ignorance? I did not know what 85% of that ballot had going on. I understood
I
the
mean,
president.
I gonna lie.
I understood a couple of the bills, but all the like House and Senate shit, I definitely had never heard of these people in my life. And you
Ever,
can guess
like,
what I
ever.
did, and it will probably upset Alex.
What, you just vote all blue?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, that's what I
I mean,
did.
that's what you do.
Except there were a few positions where it was literally because Florida is such a red state at this point. There were a few positions where the only people were running were Republican and nonpartisan. So I just picked the nonpartisan ones, and I was like, I hope they're not worse.
I mean, if you don't
I don't
know,
think
you
they
just
won
vote red or
anyway.
blue. I mean,
One of them ended up being that one guy who runs from president every with the foil hat. You know what I'm talking about?
I was afraid if I left it blank, it wouldn't count. I've never had. Do you have to vote for everything, or can you leave it blank?
No, you can leave it blank. You don't have
Should
to
be
vote for
able.
everything.
Let's say,
I heard Dick talk about this too, where like in your mind you just inherently think it's like one of those school scantrons where you like have to fill in every bubble.
That's
and you have to
the
fill in every
trick.
bubble
Yeah,
perfectly.
you have to
Yeah.
fill everything in, or else it doesn't count. That's how they trick you.
So I came in for three votes I made that I felt strong about and mattered to me. President, obviously, I voted for Kamala Harris. The weed bill, which I voted yes, give us weed. And the abortion bill, which I voted yes, give us abortions. Lost all three. All three of them.
I wanted Trump to win, so I was pretty happy. I'm not really happy with a lot of his stuff, but I liked him more than Kamala.
Any state that does not legalize marijuana is fucking retarded at this point, okay? It's fucking absurd to not have recreational marijuana at this point because everybody has weed. It's not a they barely ever prosecute for it. At least for obtaining it. It's so easy to get. Only dealers are getting arrested. And it's just like it's a normal weed culture, except we're buying it from fucking street weirdos, and then those street weirdos have to go to jail for no fucking reason. It's a farce at this point. It's all a fucking it's a scam, so the doctors can make money on medical marijuana. Really, is
The
what it
reason,
is. I don't.
no, the reason why a lot of states haven't done it recreationally yet is because a lot of states have high Christian populations.
Which is so fucking annoying. If you're allowed to drink, you should be allowed to smoke weed. Smoking weed is so much not as bad for you as fucking drinking or cigarettes.
Smoke tobacco like the rest of us Christians, all right?
Yeah, I'll smoke tobacco and fucking cut my lifespan in half real quick. That's fine.
Well, you also have to factor in the one of the reasons why Kamala lost, not a big reason, but just a tiny little reason, at a single rally that started making rounds all around the internet, was someone in the crowd yelled out, "Christ is king." And she said, "You're at the wrong rally." And I guarantee you she lost votes because of that.
Yeah, because all the Christians are fucking retarded evangelists. I'm so sick of Christians. Okay, I'm fucking done with Christians.
Well, someone yelled the same thing at a Trump rally, and Trump goes, "You're right, Christ is king."
Yeah, whatever, fine. You're allowed to say that, but I think you're also allowed to say this is the wrong rally.
Did anyone catch that during her concession speech she talked about God?
Did she?
No,
I didn't
she
see her
didn't. She
concession
didn't say
speech.
anything about God.
She made comments like, you know, like I'll have to pull it back up, but she made something like "God bless America" or some shit like that. Like,
oh well, yeah.
She made comments.
It's just like a thing you say, though.
It's like commonplace among politics is "God bless America." Yeah.
God bless the USA. Remember that song?
Well, I mean, she made comments about praying and like a lot of stuff. Like I don't know. There's non-God related verbiage she could have used. The words that she said, like if you listen, were very pro God.
Yeah.
Honestly, the Star Spangled Banner is a pretty gay song. When I think of America, the song, it really is the one that I just sang, where it's like, oh, I love this land, God bless the USA. It's so like fucking
God Bless the USA by Lee Greenwald. Or Green.
Yeah,
Green
that's
something.
the national anthem to me. The Star Spangled Banner is gay and boring.
It reminds me. It reminds me of one of those like old alma mater songs for like a school that was made in the 1980s or in the really 1920s. You know, it's got the ye old. You know what I'm talking about? Those little class songs for like schools. No.
No.
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember mine, but
Wait, the class songs? You had like a song for your class? What
No,
do you
you
mean?
have like an alma mater song. Do you not know what that is?
Oh, like a song for your school, like a school
Yes.
spirit song. Okay, no, we did not have one.
Yeah, it's one
I
of
know what
those
they
like,
are,
but
but we did not have one.
it's like an alma mater song or whatever, and it's like made in the 1920s. Half of the words you can't even understand because they're
Brad,
old people words.
did you go to private school?
No, I went to
Oh,
public.
oh, okay.
The theme song for my high school is the like shitty royalty free music they used at the beginning of the school
Okay,
news that went like
hear me, hear me out though. Hear me out though, Alex. So what's interesting is not only did I go to public school, the public school I went to, my graduating class only had 20 kids in it because it's a super like small ass town where
That
my
makes
school was at.
sense.
So we everyone there, like 90% of the school's population was Christian. So we would pray in school, and like our graduation had prayer. Like it was like a very like pro Christian school, which is weird for a public school. It's like super like off the wall for a public school.
That is a little weird.
That's all right.
We wouldn't like pray before like classes or nothing like that. But like I played a lot of sports, so we would pray before every game, and we would pray after every game, and we would pray before every practice, and we would pray after practice.
Yeah, I went to something called a charter school, which is kind of like when a public school and private school have like a weird child, and it's like a
Right.
strange amalgamation of the two, where it's not a private school, it's a public school, but it maintains a small student body by having like a lottery to select who gets in rather than just letting anybody in always. And it's like I think it's publicly funded, but like less so than a regular school. I don't know quite how it works, but I went to this charter school, and they're still subject to public school regulations. They couldn't like be like God is the best and we love God and we're gonna pray every day. But it was definitely like super obvious that the entire faculty was like super Christian, and like every once in a while there would be something that would come up, or like offenses that like weren't as bad would be like really demonized because of the Christianity aspect. And it was funny because like they were evangelical, but they like couldn't show it as much because of public school regulations. But like it was in there just a little bit.
Our school was so bad that my senior year of prom, two girls wanted to go to prom together, and they didn't let them.
Oh, that's sad.
Looking
That's
back on
fucked
it, it's
up.
crazy. Looking back on it, was like it's crazy. Now that I've gone out and I'm an adult and like I've been to like different places, I've been to different countries now. Like I've gone and I've seen the world. Looking back at my own hometown is like, what? Like that shit happened when I was in high
You
school.
used to live in the
Crazy.
most like podunk backcountry ass town, didn't you?
Yes, I am. I remember during 2020, everybody was like holding their guns, like we're ready, we're ready for this war. Yeah, they cheated us. We're gonna go storm the Capitol. Like I got genuinely scared. Like I thought a whole world war was fixing to break out.
And your story is like so inspiring to me. The fact that you actually fucking did it, because I remember like the whole. I've known this motherfucker for so long. If you haven't heard previous
It's been
episodes he's been on
crazy.
or anything, I've known him for fucking years and years and years. And I used to know him when he was a meek little boy with a stomach disorder, living with from all accounts that I heard, terrible parents. And I was like, you should get out of there, bro. It's like, yeah, but like, that's hard. And then eventually you did. And I was like, hell yeah, fucking hero.
I went homeless for a while. I went and I couch surfed and I partied. I remember as soon as I got like free, I made my dad super pissed off because like my buddies were some things I paid for and some things they paid for. But like at one point, we went to some amusement park, and I took a picture of us at the amusement park, and I was like, "Yeah, living it up at the amusement park on Facebook." And he'd go in there and he'd write something. This would be a fucking hole, and I would delete it. It was so fun. I ain't gonna lie, it was crazy. Uh,
I forget, was it like just your dad who sucked, or was it both of them?
My stepmom, I feel like she genuinely cared and loved me, but she was like dumb. Like she just was dumb. I don't know how to explain it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Part of a certain class of people who are often that way.
She was like, I remember at one
Moms.
point when I was like 12, she decided "sucks" was like a cuss word and we couldn't say it no more. Like she'd have like dumb shit like that.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
you could say it
I was the
before,
same
and
way.
she decided retroactively that it was bad.
Yeah, she just decided one day that we couldn't say "sucks."
Yeah.
It's like I wasn't allowed to say sucks either, but that was like consistent. I was not allowed to say sucks, and then one day they were like, "That's bad." Actually, that was just a rule until it wasn't. That's so weird to have her like go back on it.
What's it called? I know another one thing that me and her used to get onto is so she's a woman, right? And so like women like do their not all women, right? But like she would like wake up hours before work so she could like do her makeup and like look nice, right? And so I'm
Yeah.
a boy and I don't put on makeup, right? So she asked me one time when I was in high school, like, hey, you need to start getting up on your own. I shouldn't have to wake you up, right? So I set an alarm for 7, right? The school is like a 10-minute walk, right? And I have to be at school at 8 o'clock. So I woke up at 7, an hour before school, and she'd come in and wake me up at 5:30 every morning. You didn't set an alarm. I did set an alarm. I don't have to get up at 5:30 to get it. What are you talking about? I used to argue with her about for like my entire like high school career.
Yeah, that was never an issue. I think me and my mother were always like, as long as you get to that school bus, then you're fine. Sometimes I would, my alarm truly would not go off, or I just wouldn't have set one, and it'd be like 5 minutes before school, and she'd be like, "Fucking wake up, retard, or I'm gonna kill you. You better get that fucking bus." Um, it's funny all the weird things that like parents like try to like ban, like the sucks retroactively. That's pretty funny. My like every parent has like that one little silly thing. For me, it's like I've told this story a million times, but it's just so funny to me that it's like their one thing that my parents decided is they didn't want me to watch television programs in which the characters were too mean to each other, which resulted in my mother trying to get me to not watch SpongeBob and my father trying to get me to not watch Drake and Josh. That was the weird like little thing is like those two particular shows. My mother and father individually of each other for each show, which was the weird part. But it's like these characters are too mean to each other. You shouldn't watch this. I mean, maybe they were right because I love people being mean to each other now, and people seem to get mad at me for it. So maybe they were trying to help me.
See, but that's what all
Maybe
of my
SpongeBob
friends
and Drake
do.
and Josh are what caused my negativity.
Like like my roommate is like a little bit overweight, so like I'm always making fat jokes to him. Right? Like this is what we do to each other. Like all my friends just talk mad shit about each other.
And it's great. And I love it. It's my favorite thing in the world.
That sounded like the most that sounded like the
Like I can
most
tell I
like
can tell Alex her facial hair looks fucking retarded right now, and it won't even upset him. He'll just take it in
you
stride.
can't
Why does it
oh
look?
you can't
Hold on. Why does it look bad? What the fuck?
It's growing pains. It'll come in. But it looks progressively less wacky every week, but it's still looking a little wacky.
Mr. fucking patchy ass beard over here. Calm down.
My beard sucks. I know. My
You're
beard
just
is
lashing
the worst.
out
I
out
just
of
fucking
jealousy
hate shaving.
that this is coming in evenly for the most part.
It's coming in well, but right now it looks goofy. Like it will look better as it gets more defined.
Well, I'm gonna cut it down a little bit, probably tomorrow.
You either got to be like clean shaven or like not shaven. Those are the two.
It
usually-
looks
that
bad
work for
on
you, I
camera. It
think.
looks a lot better in person. I promise.
I do buzz cuts. Buzz cuts are great.
We're talking about beard, not hair. I'm not cutting my hair.
No.
That's sacrilegious. I'm not cutting my hair. Fuck you. It took
I
me
like
so
my
long
hair
to
right
grow
now,
this
which
shit.
means my mother's gonna.
It
I
took
like
me
my
so
hair right now,
fucking
which
long
means
to
my
grow that
mother's gonna
shit.
tell
I'm
me to
not
cut it
fucking cutting
soon.
that. I don't care.
Yeah, never cut it. I need to get more resolved on the not cutting my hair shit. That was a mistake. I should not have cut my hair for that trip. Because that every video we shot, my head looked so fucking bad. That was the worst haircut I've ever
Your
received
hair
in
right now
existence,
is
and
perfectly fine. If you keep it this
I
length,
know.
don't fuck with it. Don't let it get too long. Keep it at whatever you have
Hey,
right
stop
now.
it! Stop it! He said don't fuck with it. You just touched it. Stop that.
Yeah, don't fucking touch
Nah,
it. Just leave it
I have to
alone.
get it out of my eyes. It keeps going in my eyes, and I gotta get it out of my eyes. That's
Stop it! Stop fucking with it. Stop that.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you this, and this might be a really horrible idea, and you're gonna be like miserable for the next like 4-5 months.
If you tell me about like tucking my hair under my headset again, that did not work. That was retarded.
No, it wasn't retarded. It was perfectly fine, and I knew exactly what I was talking about. I was gonna say, if you don't want your hair to look fucked, go and buzz cut the shit out of it, like almost bald, and just do a full reset. Everything will grow at the same rate, so you can fuck around with however you want
I wanted to do that. Every time I want to do that, people try to stop me. I don't know what it is.
Hey,
Fucking
Riely?
last time I got a... Yeah?
Your people, you leftists have a saying, your body, your choice.
True, I know. It's my choice ultimately.
It's not like
but
you're
every
trying to go
fucking
for an
time,
abortion or anything. It's just hair. Nobody cares.
I'm just an easily impressionable guy, and every
Actually, I
time somebody
care.
tries to fucking talk
Hair
me out of
rights.
it.
What are you, hair
Brad,
phobic?
Right,
Brad,
so
Brad
true.
cares, so you can't do it now.
I'm
That
pro
sucks.
hair, actually. Uh, but fucking... I can't even remember what I was talking about right now because that was funny. So every time I go, fucking the last like 2 or 3 times I've tried to get a haircut, I'm like, okay, I don't want to deal with this bullshit anymore. I'm just gonna cut it to near bald and fucking deal with it as it grows in. And the first time, the fucking barber said I shouldn't do it.
Fuck 'em.
Like fucking, it's none of your business. She's like, I had really long hair at the time, so she's like, "Oh, come on, you worked." She had a foreign accent, and you worked so hard to grow it. I don't want to cut it all off, so we ended up just doing like a regular short haircut, which looked fine. But then it grew back in all fucked up again.
Riley,
And
Riley,
yeah,
come up here again. I'll buzz the shit out of it. I'll buzz it all off.
I'm not letting you fucking within 6 feet of me with a razor, buddy.
Winner.
An electric
what I'm
razor with
wondering-
a guard that you just go over everything, and then you clean up any of the... I know what to do. It's not that hard to be a fucking hairdresser. It's not that
I'm gonna
hard
get
to
a
buzz it all
professional
off.
to do it, okay? I'm not gonna deal with you doing it.
Riley,
Yeah.
when are you gonna let me come down and visit?
Any fucking time, Brad. I've been waiting for such a circumstance to come up.
Do you remember? Do you remember the thing you told me I was gonna forget that I haven't forgotten?
I do remember that. I think we talked about this the last time you were on too. But for anybody who doesn't know, me and Brad have a standing engagement, as it were, where he promised in like fucking 2017 that when he meets me in real life, he's gonna break my legs, and I told him he would forget by the time we met in real life. And he has made it so he's set some sort of reminder so that he never forgets ever, and he super remembers to this day.
It's like 9/11. Never forget.
Never forget that you have to break Riley's legs when you get
I
down
don't-
there.
Every
don't have it
9/11,
anymore,
Brad
but
wakes up and sees never forget, and he's like, I didn't forget. I know what to do.
Nah, so like at some point in my phone, it's not in this. I got a new phone since then, but I had a phone, and it would send
Now
me a
you just
reminder
remember
every
because
day.
it was a good bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even remember. I don't remember what we were mad about. We were arguing about something, and I don't even remember what we were mad about.
Fucking no, we were both like 15. You think it mattered? You think it was important?
You're getting your legs broken over it, so it's got to be something important.
Yeah, so something pretty important.
You had to have
It's so
defamed.
Sometimes
Pikachu
I
or
go
something.
back. Recently, I went back through like old messages in like the Riely Discord server that's been active like since I've been on the internet, way back in like 2017. I was a fucking little retard back then. It's
Yeah,
so
I mean,
funny
I
to
was
look
too,
back
man.
and read that shit.
back then.
Well, I'm a retard still, but like it was even worse before.
I need you to know your place in the world.
I'll be now and I'll be a retard from the day I was a retard the day I was born. I'll be a retard the day I die. But back then I was much worse.
I love going and looking at all the pictures. If you go to our DMs and looking at all the pictures I've sent you over the years, or even yours.
I will do that every once in a while and find some gems. I do that with Demi Gloom and with in the past I've done it with Jason because like we're always sending each other stupid bullshit. So like I'll go to like back to 4 years ago and there'll be like some meme I haven't seen in years and I'll fucking laugh uncontrollably because I'll remember
Dude,
it.
I love some of these pictures I sent you. Like this picture of me at Burger King and they threw the fucking shampoo at my window.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
They came and so I remember this particular night I had like an abnormally long line of cars at 11 o'clock, and so I took orders to like 11:15. We closed at 11, and after 11:15 I was like, fuck it, I'm done taking orders. So I was like, I'm sorry, we're closed. And the girl is like, I've been in line, I've been waiting, I'm not yelling until I get my food. I'm like, listen, I can't stay here all day. I have a family that I need to get back to that love me. And like, she got mad and she drove by and she threw fucking shampoo at the window.
Real quick, Alex, did Brad just like glitch out and then become delayed again for you, or is that just my connection?
I wasn't paying attention. You guys are talking about stuff that I can't contribute to, so I kind of zoned out.
That should be okay.
I'm
Alex,
waiting for
are
it
you one
to
of those
circle back
guys
to the
secretly?
election. I'm waiting for you to circle back to the election.
Yeah, you're such a fucking sore winner that you can't fucking handle me and Brad having a fun little side conversation. You want to get back to being like, oh, Trump, I'm gonna suck your dick. I love Trump so much. Oh, Trump's the president, my president. Oh my god.
You're just mad that you're just mad that Trump.
I'm not mad. That's the weird thing. I feel guilty because I'm not mad. I feel like I'm some sort of a villain because I'm watching all of my friends.
You were
get,
fucking
like,
with
so
my
legitimately
joke,
upset.
bro. You fucked with my joke. You cut me off.
Sorry,
I was
didn't
gonna
know
say
you had a punchline.
you're just mad that Trump makes beating women look cool.
True.
Listen.
but
Riely, this is what I'm going to say, though. You're not a bad person for feeling bad, because at the end of the day, like, they may not have everything that they want, but, like, the world is not going to end. They're not going to die. They're not going to wake up tomorrow and be in internment camps, right?
You're not gonna wake up tomorrow and be a slave. Slavery is over.
You're definitely not gonna wake up tomorrow and be a slave. I don't know though. The fucking if I know he's distanced himself from it, but there was that leaked phone call. There's some weird shit. If Project 2025 is actually a Trump thing that he's gonna try to do,
Project 2025 is not a Trump thing. He has come out multiple times and said that he is not associated with Project 25.
Phone call, though? You know about the leaked phone call?
Yes, I know about the phone call. He's come out at multiple press conferences and rallies and said that he is not associated with Project 25. He did not create it, nor does he endorse it.
In this leaked secret phone call, this guy who's best friends with Trump is like, yeah, he's actually totally into it. He's just avoiding it because the left thinks it's a boogeyman.
Have you not seen the AI Minecraft with Obama, Trump, and Biden?
It's great. I love it.
You can get Trump to say fucking anything. That's why I don't believe the fucking phone call.
It wasn't even Trump. It was some fucking Heritage Foundation, bro.
Yeah, they're not associated with the Trump administration. What are you talking about? The Heritage Foundation
is full of people who are in Trump's White House fucking force. Whatever you call it, his fucking staff.
No, you're wrong.
White House force. Yeah, no, I'm not. What do you mean? The Heritage Foundation has several members that were part of Trump's fucking White House staff.
Were.
Yes.
Are they part of his administration staff now?
Yet, because he's not the president yet.
He might as well be. Biden can't do anything at all. Look, I want to switch gears real quick. outside of the black people crying and saying that they're gonna wake up tomorrow as slaves, which I think is hilarious because that's not gonna happen at all. The other TikTok videos that I love seeing right now are oh shit, I fucking lost it. Fuck.
Is it the one with Destiny going, "What the fuck are y'all doing? What are you voting for?"
No. Oh, I
clip.
got it. All the TikToks of like women and like gay men saying all Biden has to do is step down and we can still have Kamala as president.
That would be funny.
Biden's not going to step down. I think the funniest video I saw was a Biden turning around and smiling, and the caption was literally just,
dude,
Trump won by one vote. Who was it? And it's just Biden turning around smiling. I bet you he voted for him too.
This whole fucking time, dude, this whole time people have been doing this meme where he's like, actually Biden loves Trump now because he hates Kamala Harris because Kamala Harris stole his job. And it's like, I didn't believe it. The whole time I thought it was just this dumb bit. And then I saw they're like, he's the most coherent he's been in years, giving a speech about how he's gonna peacefully transfer the power to Donald Trump.
Of course.
And he ends the speech with this like big smile to the camera.
He knows what he knows what he fucking did. Trump. He was fucking usurped by a woman. Of course you're gonna go and get the man to win.
He's gonna go to lunch with Trump. Did you hear about this?
Yes,
dude.
Those two are gonna create the best sitcom in the entire world. Biden and Trump.
What if they start a podcast?
They're not gonna start a podcast. Did you hear Trump went on Joe Rogan though?
I did. I haven't watched it yet, but I do want to.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Did you hear Trump's acceptance speech?
No.
No? What do you mean no? Why not?
I don't fucking deal with the election's over. I don't care anymore. I lost.
I watched Kamala Harris give her concession speech
I didn't watch that
live.
Either.
I watched it live.
I don't care.
I care.
It's over.
I don't care that it's over. I want to hear what both parties have to say. However, Kamala went and basically rewrote Hillary Clinton's concession speech, which is kind of funny. They did I saw a TikTok where it did 1-to-1.
The next time I'm gonna care is, well, I think my question's already answered.
What, the next time a woman tries to run?
Yeah, haha. But the next time I'm gonna care about what's happening in politics, although I think we already know the answer now that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have been so amicable, is I mentioned, I believe last week on this show, that it is one of my like weird little things that I'm super particular on, that if you are a former president and you're being succeeded in office, you definitely should 100% have to attend the inauguration of the next president no matter what. And I think it's insane that Trump didn't do that for Biden. And I think that everybody should always do it.
During COVID, so he had a legitimate reason.
Yeah, but his reason was not, I'm gonna get COVID. His reason was they stole the election from me. This is bullshit.
They didn't steal the fucking. They stole the fucking election. What are you talking about?
It was fucking good, dude. So many more people were tuned into politics because they were fucking bored and didn't have anything else to do. It was 2020. There were 20 million extra voters because they had nothing to do with fucking vote.
They forged ballots. They cheated.
There's always some.
The only reason there's no evidence is because they destroyed it. That's what Democrats do. Have you not realized that everything is like 40% more expensive under Biden?
Just so you know, this is why we're losing the episode. None of what I said at the beginning. This is why. They're very particular about this.
Fuck Biden. Biden's cool. Fuck Kamala. It's all Kamala's fault. We're not going to lose the... This is my right to free speech.
You kind of like Biden now.
Biden's cool. I like him. I never said he was a piece of shit.
Put on the
These past 4 years, this entire time of the podcast, I have never dissed him at all. I might have called him slow,
mean,
but I never said that he didn't deserve to be president. He won.
Hey, asshole! Whatever. There's fucking circumstantial evidence that perhaps there was election fraud. There is this time too for him. Have you seen all the fucking MAGA people burning ballot boxes and all the emails leftists are posting online where their ballots got rejected for no apparent reason?
Okay, where's the lack of Democratic votes then?
Nobody fucking cares about politics. 20 million extra people cared because they had nothing better to do because they were on lockdown.
No. We're not talking about 2020. We're talking about 24 right now. You are claiming that MAGA people were burning ballot boxes, which means there should have been a significant amount of ballots that were lost during this election, correct?
Sorry, I accidentally hit mute and couldn't fix it, like, legitimately. I don't know what happened. Could you repeat that?
You said that MAGA people were burning ballot boxes and emails and all this other shit. Where is the evidence and where is the significant loss in like the total count?
At the total count of votes?
Yes. Do you have evidence that there is a total loss?
As you know, there is a discrepancy of about 15 to 20 million. And while some people would say that is because Biden cheated in 2020, it could also be said that a lot of that, but part of it is not as many people care because nobody had anything better to do in 2020, and part of that is seemingly that ballots are being burned and rejected for no reason.
What if I
don't think Trump cheated. I don't think he cheated. I'm just saying it's out there. That's what every election is going to be from now on is, this guy cheated, here's why. The guy who won, he cheated. Our guy actually won. Every fucking election for the rest of time. And it's Trump's fault, and it's going to continue to be perpetuated by everyone, every time, forever.
Okay. You said MAGA people were burning ballots. The ballot boxes, right?
Yep.
What if I told you...
Ballot box burning?
No, I know about it. I heard that there were accusations. What if I told you
There's videos.
What if I told you that less people voted Republican this year than back in 2020?
Yeah, because less people care. As
I think more people care. That's why the outcome is Trump and not Kamala.
I don't.
You're saying less Republicans voted.
I kind of agree with Riely.
People voted.
There was nothing better for people to do. People were like really like watching this stuff really hardcore. Not as many people have really cared this year as they have 4 years ago.
Okay, can you explain why in 2016 there were 65 million Democrat votes, 81 million in 2020, then 69 in 24?
COVID.
That is lost. Part of that is apparent lost ballots, and part of that is COVID. People had nothing better to do in 2020, so people who wouldn't have usually voted did.
Okay. Can you explain why it was 62, 74, and 73 for Republicans? No change whatsoever. 2016 was low, but that was the year that everybody started caring about voting, which is why you saw an increase in 2020.
Wait. You're saying Republican voting went down in 2020, or it went down in 2024?
It went down in 24. It went from 74 to 73. A million less Republicans voted this year.
Yes, because those were the ones who only cared because of COVID. And there were more Democrats in that regard, because leftists have more fucking online activism and fucking guilting each other. And when all it took to vote was sending a fucking letter in the mail, fucking a bunch of leftists fucking banded together. That's what happened.
But that's always been available.
Too, just less.
Mail-in voting has always been available.
In some states.
Mail-in voting has always been available. It was just much more commonplace and easier to obtain and encouraged in 2020. And nobody else had anything better to do.
Absentee voting started in the 1980s, by the way. It's been around for 40 years.
Combination of the two. I know.
You don't know, because I guarantee you would not have been able to pull the 1980s out of your ass.
Alex, let's also like go ahead and explain this too, right? Before 2020, A lot of people probably didn't even know absentee voting was a thing. I definitely didn't. I didn't know you could just get something into your mail and fucking vote. They
It was
don't.
not a
Nobody
widespread thing at
teaches.
all, and then suddenly
No,
everyone knew about it.
it's wild of you to expect school systems to teach anything that we need to know.
Oh, the school systems are
Exactly.
fucked.
Thank you.
That's why Project 2025 is going to get rid of the Department of Education.
God damn it.
Look, I'm sorry. This has been. I'm
you know
sorry
what?
for
I'm
your
pro
loss.
School.
I am
I'm pro
sincere.
school. I want schools to be improved, okay? I don't want to get rid of public schools. Here's why. This is my fucking big platform, my big hill to die on that everyone fucking hates now. We have this idea. Somehow we've obtained this idea because there's too many fucking pedophiles. That's why, and that's a problem. And we need to fucking kill them all and fucking deal with this shit.
Like all the Democratic
And-
superstars from Diddy's party. Yeah, we should get rid of all of the
Yes.
Democratic superstars.
if they were
over
fucking
in
if they were
California.
fucking little kids at Diddy's party, yes, they should be locked away and thrown under
They were
the jail.
diddling it.
Um,
That's probably why he's called Diddy.
But again, I think it was Dick who
Wasn't
said
Trump on that party too?
Maybe it wasn't Dick. It was some comedian who
Trump
said
wouldn't
like
be caught dead at any of Diddy's parties.
when it comes to Hollywood parties, there's always like multiple parties going on at the party. Just because
Sorry,
somebody was at
Epstein.
a party hosted by Diddy does not mean they were at the freak off part. They could have just been at what they thought was a regular Hollywood party in their own little clique and not been engaging with what's going on in the back room. Like that happens at Hollywood parties. Every Hollywood party is
How
like
would you
5 parties in the same house. Because I've heard people who've gone to Hollywood parties talk about this. Like lower level Hollywood guys. They're like,
they're not
you
going
know,
to talk about the pedophilia that they got involved in.
Okay, whatever. They're all pedophiles. Fine. Sure.
Yeah.
Great.
That sounds kind of racist.
It's fully believable that there are multiple there's a party with fucking 1 million people, that there are multiple sub parties going on within the party. That makes sense.
I doubt
to
it's
me.
1 million. Do you know what
Okay,
1 million
yeah, I'm
looks
exaggerating. I'm exaggerating. Jesus Christ. You and your fucking little grab on arguments today.
What's killing me, Riely, is like you remember how you said you were retarded growing up? This is the most competent I've ever heard you. You sound like so smart and intelligent. Your intelligence has done this.
Really? Because I'm convinced it's done this.
Well, no. Have you not heard that Chinese proverb of the more you learn, the less you know? That's what happens when you get smarter. You realize like all the stuff you don't know.
That's why
And
I
you
dropped out
feel
of
dumb.
college, so I could become
I've gotten
smarter.
smarter, which made me realize that I'm retarded. I see what you're saying.
I can't believe you've never heard of that Chinese proverb.
No, I have. I definitely have heard that before. But here's my hot take about schools, okay? Suddenly, because of all the fucking pedophile shit that needs to end and we need to lock them all up and throw away the keys, blah, 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 it has now become this thing where it's like, okay, now every child, for their own safety, must be have all of their activity 100% monitored by their parents at all times, and everything they learn and everything they do must be perfectly crafted in their parents' images at all time from the day they're born to the day they turn 18. And the one place that exists as sanctuary to this, or at least has in the past before people started getting so fucking riled up over it, is school. You go to school, you form your own social cliques, you learn about the world in your own way, and you draw your own conclusions about life. And maybe you end up being a fundamentally different person than what your parents expected. And that's fine and normal. And I think the proverb everybody makes fun of now and says is bullshit. I genuinely believe that it takes a fucking village to raise a child. It takes multiple fucking sources of information from multiple sources, conflicting sources at times, for a person to form their own fucking personality, their own understanding of the world. Your kids are not your fucking clay for you to mold into your image. They're a new person that needs to learn about the world in their own way. And school creates an environment where they can exist separately from their parents. And
Yes,
now
but they
people
have
are
to
fucking
learn
sticking their hand
certain morals
fucking
from their
around.
parents. The schools are not responsible for teaching morals. The parents are there to raise the children. The children should not be raised by the school system.
I think they should be to some extent.
I think schools should teach you morals in like certain sense. Like like a baseline of like murder's not okay. You shouldn't
Well, yeah,
lie.
I
You shouldn't
agree with
steal.
that, but like from a young age, before school even starts, before pre-K, before preschool, parents teach their kids right and wrong.
Yeah, by backhanding them when they smart off.
Sometimes a parent's definition of right and wrong is retarded, and it's very valuable for those kids to get a more accurate reading of right and wrong from the fucking school
But if the
system.
parents are
And that's where I
wrong,
stand here.
how do you know that the school
Because
system
the
will fix
parents
it?
are wrong! Because the parents are wrong! The kids shouldn't be forced to live wrong. They should have
Give me an
some level of
example of
outside
how the parents
stimuli
would be
that
wrong
teaches
in
them the
terms of
other
teaching their
side.
kids right and wrong. How are the parents wrong
Okay.
in that?
Okay, so black people are lower than white people, and fuck gay people. Son,
Yeah!
There you
there you
go.
go.
Yeah. Do you think the
And that's
school system
fine!
is going to teach that in that specific
Yes.
area, though?
They do!
Yeah, it's
School
like
says
yeah.
racism is bad, and bigotry is bad, and that's
Schools
good
like
that happens!
schools say that you can't bully and be racist, or we're gonna throw you in detention and like ban you from school. That's their punishment. Like that's the negative
Which is good.
connotation. Like there's a it's a good thing. Yeah, Riley's right. It is a good thing. But like schools do teach morals and like and how to like function in society and work with people that are different than you. Like not really my public school because my public school only had white Christians, but you know normal public schools have like all of these like different groups of people, and you all come together and you all do things differently. And despite your differences, you can still do math problems in the room together and like kill each other and make fun of each
Exactly.
other.
And you live this life that's separate from the life you live at home, and you gather your own social circles, and you experience the world in your own way, and you get formed into your own person. And parents are really trying to fucking stick their hands in there and be like, no, but you can only teach what I tell them to teach, and you can't talk about this on school grounds. This has to be a rule, and you can't do this, and you can't do that, because my kid is going to be taught my way, and I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. It's
Riley,
become normalized. It's become normalized. All the fucking pedophile shit has made it normalized to be like, okay, now parents can control 100% of what happens in
so
public schools at
Riley,
all times.
I got a question. So you're pro banning of homeschools, yeah?
I am, or at least maybe not entirely. I've been kind of swayed a little bit, but mostly, I think homeschooling is mostly retarded. I think homeschooling results in, social stunting. I think homeschooling results in, being a pile of clay molded in your parents' image and having no outside
That's really
stimuli
what
to learn about the
homeschooling
world
is.
in your own
See,
way.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's a lot of states. It's not just a lot of states. I should just say in general. There's a lot of states where you could take a child, right, and you could beat the fuck out of them, right? They could come to school with a black eye, and the school start an investigation, right? Well, before
Yes.
the investigation can conclude, right, I go ahead, I pull my child from public school, tell them I'm going to homeschool them, and then I move to a whole different city, and then everything just gets dropped now
Yeah, a
because
full
they
reset.
weren't allowed to finish. Hold on, yeah, they weren't able to finish their investigation, so they weren't able to do anything, right? But I never put my child back in the homeschool. I sit there and I keep them. Or sorry, I don't put them back in public schools. I keep them in homeschools. All right, that way they I could keep beating the fuck out of them and nobody can do anything, right? And then my husband can be a sex offender, and I could still do all this as a registered sex offender, right? And I could teach my school, or I could teach my child absolutely nothing. And in a couple of years, go to my printer and print them off a certificate, and then they're done.
Yeah, homeschool needs to be, I don't say this often. I know Alex is going to immediately gag and vomit on the floor when I say this sentence. But occasionally it needs to be said. Homeschool needs some fucking regulation, okay? I know that's the word that everybody doesn't like, regulation.
How are you going to
Makes Alex
regulate a
wanna
parent's
fucking
right
cry.
to raise their own child?
It's not
Homeschooling, you
about
regulate
raising.
the curriculum, and you regulate how it fucking works, and you regulate that certain fucking things need to be taught, and you regulate that there's an actual fucking schooling going on, and you're not just printing your kid a certificate after you've taught them how to be you too. The sequel to you.
That's taking away parents' rights, though. It's the parents' rights to raise their own kids.
Fuck 'em.
No. If I go and have a child, I have a right to raise him or her or them how I want to raise them. You cannot
I
control
disagree.
how I
If you're
raise my
raising them
child.
awfully, if you're raising them in a stupid, retarded way that's ruining them,
That's my
you
right
should
as a
be stopped
parent.
from doing that. No,
I
it shouldn't be.
created this
Maybe it is,
being.
but it shouldn't be. It's awful that it is. So many
I
children are having their
created this
lives
being.
ruined
It
because
is
they have
my
insane
right.
parents.
It is
No.
my right to raise them how I want them to be raised.
No, there's a whole individual person that should have their own individual rights, right?
They
You
don't
can sit
have
there, you
rights
can
until
teach them.
18.
No,
I
that's
fucking
false.
despise that.
They have
I'm so sick of
no,
that. No rights for children. I'm so done
What
with
rights
that
do
shit,
children have
okay?
right now besides like being
Should have
protected
the
by the
right
state
to live their own
from
life.
pedophiles?
They should have the right to
There's-
exist separately from
they
their
have-
parents to some degree.
hold on, Riely. I want to mention something. They have the right to education as in the Constitution. That's like written in the Constitution.
You know, I hate to. I'm sure Alex is gonna get upset for me for calling on the audience member, and I don't know if he wants to speak, but he is the only father in the room, and I kind of want to know what he thinks.
The right to education is not explicitly guaranteed in the United States Constitution.
Gingy, feel free to speak. I don't know if Alex server muted you or not.
No,
but
I was
if you
going
have the
to,
power
but I
unmute
didn't.
yourself.
In 1973, the Supreme Court in San Antonio, Independent School District versus Rodriguez, that education is not explicitly protected in the Constitution.
Okay, yeah, whatever. Then don't educate your kids. Turn them into your own fucking Hitler Youth, and Alex is fine with
All right,
that.
what's up? Sorry, I was doing something at the same time. I heard my name. Hello, everybody.
We wanted to know your general thoughts on this conversation because you're the only one who actually has a child in the room, and we're doing a lot of arguing
All right,
about
what's-
raising children.
In a way, okay.
Did you
let
miss the
me,
whole
let me put
thing,
it this way.
or do
No,
you
no, I
have
did.
it?
I picked up
Okay.
most of it. How the child is raised, 100% is up to the parent. However,
Oh.
no, let me finish.
Okay,
If
okay.
it's within, if I had the capability to properly give my son a proper education at home, fuck yeah, I would. But at the same point, there's also unspoken benefits of, going to private school. It's teaching the child social skills and how to properly interact with other people. But how I choose to raise my child and the beliefs that I try to instill into him, 100% is my fucking business. I don't need
Thank
nobody
you.
fucking...
Thank you.
I'm not saying you're not allowed to instill those beliefs. That's not what I'm saying.
That's
You can
not
teach
what
your
I was
child
saying
whatever-
either. I said it is the parents' right to raise their kid how they want them raised.
100
Yeah, you're
fucking
saying
percent.
that, and I know you're saying that as an extent of what the fucking. Sorry, I'm being bad at being coherent.
Also,
Point
hello,
is,
Brad.
You're obviously
Yeah, what's up?
allowed. You're obviously allowed to teach your kids whatever you want, but I think they need an environment where you're taught separate things. They need
I
another
understand
side
that.
to life.
But there are key things that 100% should be taught from the parents and not some fucking egghead who got a fucking degree. Like, for example, sex ed? No. Yeah, like, general basic shit, yes. Teach the body anatomy to my child, that is fine. But don't fucking start
what
cramming...
are they saying in sex ed that's weird? I'm trying to
the
think
whole
of what I
like
got
gender
taught in
study
sex ed.
bullshit. Like, make that shit an
Okay,
elective
well-
for when the child, is in like fucking high school, and they can
I
make
don't
them
think
more
you need
educated.
to sit there and be taught the intricacies of gender, but I think being told that these people exist and here's what's going on is normal and fine.
That should be an elective. That kind of stuff, especially with young minds being so impressionable, absolutely fucking not. Like, teach it, sure, but make it a high school elective. Make it a choice. Give the child a choice. If they want to learn
The
that
problem-
stuff,
The problem is that's
the
not
problem-
the child's choice. That's the parent's choice. Ultimately, that's not their choice at all.
See, no, but here's what I'm going to argue a little bit about with Jizzy, right? These people exist, and like there's going to be gay people in high school, right? So if you have a conservative Christian child that's going through public school, at some point or another, a teacher has to like sit down, and it doesn't have to be a class. It's going to be something that they do something really dumb, because kids are dumb and they have to sit down and they'll be like, listen, there's a people exist. This is what they are. You can't make fun of them. You know, they have their
Well,
beliefs and you
right.
have your beliefs.
That
And you
kind
have
of
to live
thing
with
is
them.
totally okay. I'm
Kids are
not
gonna be
saying like
asking,
completely cut
why
that
is
stuff
little
out.
Johnny, why is little Johnny little Sally now? And if a kid asks an adult authority figure that question, they shouldn't be like,
Well,
I
yeah,
can't answer that by
obviously
law because of the Florida
that's
Don't Say Gay
fine,
bill.
but
They should be able to say, well, little Johnny decided that that she felt better being little Sally, and we have to respect that.
I mean, yes, I understand that obviously, and that's not what I'm saying, but to cram that information in a very, very small mind, because I have read too much shit that these parents are trying to force some sort of fucking agenda on small kids. And that's the part
The
where I'm
finding
drawn
that balance is hard. There do exist people that are kind of trying to like fucking LARP through their kid. That's the other side of it. Both sides of that exist. There are the people who are turning their kids into bigots, and then there's the other side where there are people who are trying to like force their kids to be gay or trans because they have this idea that you have to be gay or trans to be like good. And that's
Right.
also bad. And external stimuli and learning the world through other people will also help combat that to some degree.
Well, right,
So
yeah,
it's
obviously. I mean, I'm raising my son to be accepting and tolerant of, different people, but I'm also raising him, to fucking defend himself and defend others around him, be a nice, respectable young person of society. I'm not teaching him to be a bigot, and that kind of shit is not okay. But like,
The thing is though, is that you're gonna have all of these parents and stuff that want to teach these children these things, and having a public school that can give them a different perspective and actually give them a shot at like transitioning into society is tremendous. I want to talk about two things. So the first thing is when I was in college, I did a whole study on homeschooling. There was this website I found. It's called hsinvisibleChildren.org. It stands for the Coalition for Responsible Homeschool Education. They do stories all year long. They post the stories of children that were homeschooled and they got abused, and no one ever knew until it was way too late because they were never seen out in public. They were only just in their house, right? And like you can go read like hundreds of stories of like homeschooling gone wrong, and they used it for like a very bad purpose.
I feel
Which
like
is why
homeschool
no, I think
if we do have homeschool, it goes back to what realizes there has to be some sort of regulation.
I
there has
wholeheartedly
to be
agree
some
with
sort
you
of
there. There
regulation.
has, because this is such a touchy subject, and I can talk about it off air, but I know of people that are homeschooling, and from what I understand, or at least from what I'm being told about the situation, all they're doing is just throwing a computer monitor in the kid's face. There's hardly any human interaction, and like that's the
the best
downside.
of them. Some of them just aren't doing
I
anything.
disagree. I disagree.
It's not the best. What the fuck are you talking about?
Like
There's a lot
Throwing a
of
computer
cool
in front of a
them.
child and saying
Oh,
learn
no,
yourself
literally
is
the
not
best of
the way to
them.
pick.
I'm
Hey,
exaggerating.
I
I'm
wanna
exaggerating.
I
I'm
wanna throw
saying.
something. I want to throw something out there. A lot of people don't know this.
Can I defend myself first?
No,
No,
fuck
hold
you.
on.
Come on.
We're
A lot of
against
people
free
don't know
speech
this
on this
about homeschool.
podcast. This is Trump's America now. You can't talk.
It's not free speech. This is fucking indoctrinating a human being.
So
I
listen,
suppose it is free speech, but
a lot of people don't know this, but you can take your children that are homeschooled and you can take them to their public school and you can still enroll them in like sports and stuff. So a lot of homeschoolers, what they'll do
That's
is
good.
they'll
Very good.
they'll do that, or they'll do what's called flexi schooling, where you can actually enroll your child in public school and only let them do one or two classes, and you can teach them the rest at home.
okay, see, then that's
like
good. That
sounds great.
That teaches the skills that you can't teach your kid by yourself. The social interaction.
You have to obtain social skills. You have to obtain the ability to socially interact separate from your parents as a puppet hand up your ass.
Now, I'm all for. Sorry, Riely. Go ahead.
And they have to have some level of. So I was about to say, I don't know if homeschool even works anymore, but like programs like that help, Brad. But like maybe back in the day, back before we were all sucked into our cell phones, where like if you went to a park on any given Saturday, it would be filled with kids your age. I mean, back then it's like, okay, as long as you're going to the park on the weekend and fucking getting social interaction that way, maybe homeschool is fine. But in this world where that doesn't really happen as much anymore, it's a little harder. But yeah, enrolling in sports or enrolling in limited classes, that would help. That would be good. Those are the kind of things I'd be looking for in a good homeschool situation. And to defend myself from earlier, real quick, I'm not saying that's literally the best method of homeschooling. I'm saying putting them in front of a computer is better than not teaching them anything at all and fucking just. I'm sorry, I'm having connection issues. Am I back? Can you hear me?
You're fine.
Yeah, I can hear you. I mean, yes, putting a computer in front of them certainly can help,
It's better
but
than nothing, but it's not good. To be clear,
No,
I'm just saying
'cause
it's better than nothing.
So you
from
were
what I
talking-
know,
Go ahead.
from what I know about that particular situation, it's just a computer monitor. The parent is not doing actively helping with the learning. So like I 100 like if I decide I want to homeschool my child, fine. Or if Jane Doe wants to homeschool her child,
That's
that's
their right.
fine. That's her right to do so.
Exactly.
But I do agree in a sense that yes, there has to be some regulation in a sense, because if you don't have the proper background or proper training to teach traditionally for your child, you're going to completely implode and destroy their adult life because you're not giving them the proper tools that they need.
In my opinion, I think I think the absolute for homeschooling in terms of regulations, no more, no less, should be by the time that they are 18. If you can homeschool them for however long you want, from pre-K all the way to 12th grade or until they're 18, they should be able to pass a GED. If they do not pass a
100%.
GED, you failed as a teacher. Not as a parent, you
Prison.
failed as a teacher. Not fucking prison.
Or me
The
being a
jail.
sarcastic asshole, let me go find the homeschool skit from Whitest Kids You Know and paste it here.
But like every child should have, like, they don't have an inherent right to education, but education is there via public school for every child to have access to. Every child by the age of 18 should be able to pass a GED. That is the absolute. That like the nothing more, nothing less. That is it.
Colo, but listen, I'm gonna share the story of Abigail Johnson. Abigail Johnson was she grew up in a homeschooling environment where her parents were both deeply religious and followed an extreme authoritarian approach to child caring. They were fundamentalist Christians, and they taught like large. You're supposed to have large families, strict gender roles, and all this stuff like that, right? She was beaten and abused and raped and put through the ringer through her entire childhood experience, and she wasn't taught anything. All right, nobody would have knew anything until after she was 18 if we went with your rules, right? So this child would have been abused, beaten, and destroyed, and her whole life would have been ruined because it's hard to start at 18, right? You in order to be successful in our society, you're gonna have to start well before then, right? The only reason why people know about Abigail, though, is because she was actually really smart and she ended up going to Harvard.
Yeah, but that also, like, the parents should not be beating their kids. They shouldn't be teaching the kids that that's okay.
That's illegal. That's hard.
There are
That's
laws in
hard
place to
that's
protect the
crime.
child from certain situations, though.
Here's the thing, though. If you have no regulation for homeschooling except what you just said, right? How are you going to know they're being abused?
Yeah,
right?
That's true. The value of having like some sort of public like association that like checks on your kids and makes sure you're not fucking beating the shit out of them, and raping them. That's a valuable thing.
Children are the like the following of your generation, right? It is like a part of you, but at the same time, right? Society isn't built around just serving you. It's about doing what's best for everyone, and it's about us coming together and working together. All right, so making sure that you don't make a child that we could use in this country to help our economy and help each other and help maybe that person's going to cure cancer, right? And protecting those people is extremely important. Your views do not trump their future.
Yeah, it's just
Alex,
it's hard to imagine. Like, I definitely want to be a parent someday, and it's hard to imagine like what that even looks like in the modern world. It's very hard to raise a child in a good way. You know, it's different for everybody. But I do think there is strong inherent value in there being outside resources to your parents. I was about to bring up something me and Gingy have argued about in the past, but I guess he's left the room, so I'll try to
No, I'm
save
still
it.
here.
Oh, okay. So in the
I mean,
past.
You could
Me
you
and
could
me and
always
Gingy talk.
have sorry, real quick because this was in response to Brad. You can always have like a quote unquote wellness check for children at the end of like every a
But if
certain
they know when
after
it's
a
coming, they
certain
can
amount of
hide the
time.
abuse. If
After
they
a
know when
certain
it's
amount
coming,
of
they can
time,
hide the abuse.
somebody from like the board of education or something will go to the homeschool house and be like, okay, let's see if you're teaching them correctly. If not, they have to go to public school because you are
But
failing as a
but
teacher.
Thank
people
you.
aren't gonna
Yeah,
like that.
I was about to say something like that.
Like, I'm not against that. I think that it's the parents' right, and that's what you were arguing against earlier
The thing
earlier in
is
the
they're gonna go to the
episode.
homeschool, right? And then I'm gonna take to the bottom of Timmy's shoe a tape of everything he's supposed to say during this interview, or I'm gonna threaten to take away his video games, and we can't have he wants his video games, so he's gonna
It's
tell the meme man
unannounced.
that
Every
it doesn't
couple
have to be
every
unannounced.
it's on make it unannounced.
That'll catch some of it, but it's not like it's gonna catch every single
You
person,
can't
right?
catch everything though. It's impossible to catch everything. Do you know how many
Yeah,
Yeah, but it
unsolved
helps when
murders
they
there
have
are
to go
out
to a
there?
facility every day, and if they don't show up, people are suspicious. And if they show up with fucking black eyes, people are suspicious. That's a valuable resource.
You cannot force the children to go to a public school. That is infringing on the parents' rights as parents.
No, because you can
I
still
think
teach a
homeschooling is
child.
very dicey. I think private schools are a valuable resource in this way. Find the private school that most aligns with your fucking beliefs, because then at least they still have a social circle outside of you.
Yeah, but
That's
sometimes
the main point.
sometimes you're a liberal, you're gay and liberal stuck in a rural town with none of your beliefs are represented anywhere. Sometimes it's not
Yeah,
for hours away, and you cannot do that.
we can't ban homeschool entirely. I understand there are situations where it's needed, but it has to be regulated.
Why not? Why not? There are tons of countries that have banned homeschooling.
It's hard because we're like a freedom country, and it's hard to be like you're not allowed to do this. And you know, we try to have as many personal freedoms as possible, but it's like there has to be some level of controlling of this, or it's just gonna spiral out of hand. And the argument I had with Gingy, I want to pitch this hypothetical scenario to Alex
Riley?
and Brad first, and then go to Gingy, because me and Gingy have discussed this in the past. We'll see if he remembers the conversation.
Yeah,
So
probably not.
This is in specific reference to the your child needs a separate social circle away from you thing. One of my arguments for this has always been that one of the most valuable things for people's mental health, just in life in general, between whether you're a kid or an adult or anything, is the ability to vent. I think having a social circle that exists outside of your parents and being able to vent about your parents is important. So let me bring this hypothetical around the table. I already know Gingy's answer, and we'll get it last because this was a private conversation, I believe, not public. And so, hypothetical scenario: Brad, you've got a kid, and you somehow a conversation, the news of a conversation leaks to you, whether it's like text that somebody like somehow gets and sends to you, or you happen to see like a notification pop up on the phone and you look, somehow you found a conversation in which your kid is like talking mad shit about you to a friend privately. What do you do?
I just ignore it. I mean, everybody talks mad shit about everyone behind their back. There's things they're gonna agree with, and there's things that we're not gonna agree with, and because they're their own person, so they're allowed to, especially children. Children are ignorant in general. I'm not gonna sit there and flip out because some loser 12-year-old said I was a loser and I'm old.
That's fair. Alex, what do you think about this?
I'm sorry, I'm reading all the regulations for different states on homeschooling right now.
Okay,
They don't
Alex,
exist.
hypothetical scenario. Alex, hypothetical scenario. You have a child. you somehow come into possession of information that this child has had a private conversation with their friend in which they shit all over you, what do you do?
Let it go.
Thank you. Now, I talked to Gingy about this, and he had a different perspective. I don't know if he still agrees, Gingy. If you want to say your piece on this,
Let me,
you had a different
because
perspective.
I know exactly what scenario you're referencing, sir. If
Is there a specific
if
scenario?
the person,
'Cause I don't know if there's a specific scenario. We just talked about this in hypotheticals.
well, it depends.
That was Alex telling us to keep going, so keep going.
Yeah. Sorry, there's a lot going on. Depending on like the scenario, if Jane Doe is the other parent in this situation, right? And if the child is bitching to Jane Doe about John Doe, then that's one thing you should ignore it. But it should not be the opposite way around. Jane Doe should not be talking shit about John Doe to the child.
Oh no!
Oh.
I agree. That was not the perspective you gave at the time. I don't know if your
Did I
position has changed.
misinterpret?
recall,
Hold on. Did I misinterpret your question? I interpreted it
No.
as my child is talking shit about me to another child at
Yes,
school.
that's the question I was asking. Yes,
and
that's
I
what I'm
found out
saying.
about it.
Yes. That's none of my business. Be clear, last time I brought this up to Gingy, he said that it was a matter of like respect of your parent and that he would be upset and he would reprimand the child. I don't know if his position has changed, but this is what you told me.
Well, respect of the
last
parent is
time I
big.
pitched
You
this
should be
hypothetical to
respecting
you.
your parents because they're the ones that brought you into this world.
Yes, but you at the same time you should also have an avenue to vent. And that's what private conversations with your friends are for.
Yeah.
See, and kind of like what Riely says. Like, I was explaining to one of the new managers that I got in the store, and he was upset that somebody lied to them. I was like, don't be upset that you lie to them. Don't be that boss that doesn't understand that your employee is going to lie to your face, right? Like, your child isn't going to understand everything as they're a child. They're going to be wrong. They're going to say and do dumb shit, and they're going to be mad about some dumb shit that they don't understand, right? To punish your child for having normal thoughts is just crazy to me.
Glim finally responded to the screenshot I sent her of Alex.
What'd she say? What did she say?
she just said traitor. That's all she said.
Traitor?
But you're betraying the trans community.
Demi has always known about this.
Now you detransition just in time. You motherfucker! You detransition just in time.
It's not a fucking
Project 2025 is
detransition.
gonna
I'm
come.
changing pronouns. Nothing has changed. Nothing has
Project
changed.
2025. Project 2025 is gonna come, and before you would have been in the fucking concentration camp, and now you're safe. 'Cause you
I'd be the
detransitioned
hardest
just in
working
time.
woman in that fucking concentration camp. I'm all for hiring trans women because they have the brain of a man and they will work harder than actual women. Than assigned female at birth women.
And we can pay them more and
Of course, you can pay them more. You don't have to give them 79 cents on the dollar.
Yeah, we could pay them more, and we could claim that we're giving the money to women. Dude, we can keep the money in our circle. Dude, there you go.
We stopped the wage gap, but only because we're paying trans women more, and it evens out the wage gap.
This is Trump's America. You know what's... This is Trump's America now.
What was that? What was that show where the guy was like, the girl was talking about the pay wage, and she was like, women only make 47, and it has that one kid. He looks at the screen and he goes, let's make it 50. Or something. You know what I'm talking about?
That was Sweet Life on Deck. Fucking Zach said that. Fucking
Let's
Zach,
go for 40,
Zach
guys.
and Cody said that.
Everybody knows that the wage gap isn't real.
We should at this point, but I mean, we're also waking up thinking we're going to be slaves.
It is federally illegal to pay women less than men in any field whatsoever. It is illegal in across the board. There's no such thing as the wage gap. The wage gap is
Agreed.
women work lower paying jobs than men, and that's why they get upset because they're not getting as much money. They work lower paying jobs.
I mean,
it's funny how
what's
like.
funny?
Go ahead, Brad.
What's funny is I don't see any women talking about equal pay on OnlyFans.
Wait, sorry, you broke up a little bit. What was that?
I said, what's funny is I don't see any women come over here crying about equal pay on OnlyFans.
True, so true.
What about the men on OnlyFans? They're not getting paid as much.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you
It's
think
way
that a
fucking
female CEO
disproportional.
is gonna complain about the wage gap?
Nope.
A woman making hundreds of millions of dollars. Do you think she's gonna complain about the wage gap?
Maybe she'd be making more millions if there wasn't a wage gap. So of
It
course.
doesn't fucking matter. There is no wage gap. They work lesser
I
paying
know.
jobs.
I know.
I need you to spend like a week only watching Fox News and see if that
I
indoctrinates
know the
you.
wage gap isn't real. I know that.
Riely, did you watch the election? Did you watch like the live election updates and shit?
No, I just looked at the Google page as it was being live updated. I didn't watch any news coverage or anything. Me and Demi Bloom did a live podcast, and we just looked at the Google page where it live updates.
What news source did I watch the election on?
Probably Fox News, I would imagine.
CNN.
Twitter with Elon.
Oh shit! Oh, because you wanted to watch them cry.
Huh?
Oh, because you wanted to watch them cry.
No. I wanted accurate or left-leaning results.
Didn't Cenk Uygur leave his own? Didn't Cenk Uygur walk out of the Young Turks?
I don't know if it was CNN or ABC, but they were literally like, so what counties is Kamala Harris beating Biden at? And they pulled up the map and it was absolutely nothing. And they were just standing there for a couple minutes like, oh, nothing.
I just wanted to. This is a little bit of a side tangent, but real quick, I wanted to bring him up one more time and thank him because I think we're done with the conversation that he was needed for. First of all, Gingy, I would like to thank you for speaking on that because I definitely wanted to get a father's perspective.
Of
and
course,
I also
anytime.
want to say that it was it's really funny to imagine like Gingy's perspective on like our whole podcast trajectory, where it's like back in like 2018, 2019, me and Alex are both like these like soft-spoken little new to the internet people, and we're like, let's start a silly little podcast about video games and talk about fucking Legend of Zelda and shit. And then we kind of drift apart a little bit for some amount of time, and Gingy comes back and he's like, I don't hang out with Riely and Alex enough. Let's make this a thing again. And then suddenly, just like 99% of the time, we're talking about like insane politics bullshit that he has probably no interest in. And he's just watching us go at each other over this shit. He's just like, Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, honestly, it's fucking hilarious. I mean, I'm playing Call of Duty in the background, but fuck yeah, I like listening. But yeah, thank you guys for having me on.
Of course.
I don't bring up politics.
We actually talk about Pokemon like we planned.
I don't talk about politics as much as you think I do. The video would say otherwise with me with a Trump shirt and American flag hat.
Maybe it's me, but like we get into it enough on this show that I'd say it's fairly common.
Not about politics though. We haven't gotten into politics in a while.
No, I don't think we go at each other's throats, but we talk about it a lot. Usually our conversations are pretty civil. I'm just in like a flippant mood tonight. I'm having fun. I'm not even upset. I just happen to be in a mood where I'm passionately arguing about things. But
no, this was a genuinely
discourse.
good argument. I am glad you brought this up. No
I
party
political
felt
discourse
like an asshole tonight, except for me, because
people really, with the giant fucking American flag and the American flag hat and the Trump fan shirt.
I wear this hat every single day. And that's not a fucking joke either. I do wear this hat. It's a very nice hat. I've gotten lots of compliments on it.
At the end of the day, Trump did win. We have to
Yes,
accept
he did.
that. I think the people who are all like he cheated or he doesn't deserve it is like whatever.
I would.
If you can prove beyond reasonable doubt he cheated, go ahead. I'd love to see you try. But if it didn't
I'm just gonna
happen and he
enjoy.
won, then he won.
I'm just ready to like wake up in the morning and go on Twitter, and then Donald Trump is just LeBron James is a dog, and then everybody on CNN go, God, he's so racist. Did you see that Quill Bowser, bro?
Trump's presidency was fucking hilarious because everybody was freaking out about it all the time, and it will be funny again. I'm going to enjoy this. That's what makes me feel the most bad, is that I
would-
will
Did you
be
I would
see-
like to
entertained by Trump's presidency.
Okay, I would like to wrap up the political talk here with one simple statement, all right? And that's coming from me. So it should mean something. We've had Trump fucking around in politics since 2016, probably earlier than that because of his campaigning, correct?
Is that his first time running, or did he run in like 2012?
He ran in 2016.
That was his first time.
Yes. So we've had
Okay.
he ran prior to 2016, but he won the 2016 election. So we've had
No,
him
okay,
for
so
about
he did run. He has ran for president prior to his victory. He just didn't win the primary in like 2012 or whatever.
No,
right?
no, no. I just meant like campaigning.
Oh,
He was
so
campaigning
it was the
for
2016 was the first time he ran for president.
yes.
Okay.
But he was campaigning for president prior to the 2016 election.
I know. I'm aware. I'm just.
Why
saying
do we
the
have
first
to be
time-
super? Why do we have to be super specific? What's the analogy? What are you saying?
I was gonna say
Alex has been way on the specific shit tonight. She's really fucking hooking into every little thing.
it's the American flag. It keeps me honest.
You
Anyway,
cannot tell a lie. You have
we've
to stop
been
other people from
you
telling lies.
you
Facts don't
liberals
care
and
about
everybody has
Facts.
been dealing. Hold on. Everybody has been dealing with Donald Trump in politics for almost 10 years now. You have 4 more years left, and he's gone for good, unless he gets rid of term limits. But he's gone for good.
Oh, imagine they said this is Jolly by nature. Okay, this was in the Blasphemy Radio Discord server. He said this, and it was like the funniest shit to me because it would be so. It's like if real life was a fucking anime. Okay, this is what was pitched to me. Okay, so Trump wins, which he did ultimately win, and he somehow gets rid of term limits and he runs again. But then, because he's gotten rid of term limits, Obama runs against him.
I'm just saying,
It
realistically,
would be the ultimate
you have
epic battle.
one
We
more
bring our
term and he's
goat out of
gone.
retirement.
Riely, you have 4 more years, and he's gone
I
for
get, I
good.
know that you can't engage with my silly little hypothetical. You're just like, oh,
Because it's not
he's
gonna
gone,
fucking
he's
happen.
that.
That's why it's not
It's
realistic.
funny though. That's what I'm saying.
Obama's already been involved. He's been behind the Biden and Kamala. The Biden and Kamala.
Obviously, he's friends with them and he works with them. Yeah, whatever. But I'm saying,
No, he's
if he
basically running
that
it.
would be the ultimate battle. Like if you think of like who is the most like modern prolific like leftist political figure and who is the most modern prolific right wing political figure, I think it is Donald Trump and Barack Obama, and it would be crazy to
Yeah,
see an
but
election
Obama
between
would
the two
win.
of them. Think so?
Yes.
Okay.
Obama is
Florida
a
voted for
black
Obama
man who
and Trump
beat
both
2 white
times.
men 2 elections in a row. Of course he's gonna win.
Florida has never failed to vote for Obama, and they've never failed to vote for Trump. So it'd be interesting to see which one they would vote for between the two, because we were Obama 2008 and 2012, and then we've been Trump 2016, 2020, and 24. So I'm curious to see who would win between the two of them in a Florida election. Are you fact checking me right now? I promise you, Obama won Florida both times.
Yeah.
Me?
Obama won Florida and Ohio.
No, Alex, not you, Brad.
Real quick, you want to know what's crazy? If you look at the election map, the one that shows all red and all blue, there
Yeah.
is zero change except for Nevada from 2016 to 2024. We're excluding the Biden where Biden won. Where I'm excluding that. If you look at Trump versus Woman 1 and Trump versus Woman 2, the only change on the electoral map is Nevada, and that's it.
Do you guys think misogyny played a real part? Because it probably did, right?
Oh, 100%. Of course. There are plenty of
Yeah,
men,
because
there are
like,
plenty of Democratic men out there who are like, no. I don't like
Yeah,
Trump,
that's
but
one
no, we're
woman
not
running the
putting a woman
country.
there. Fuck you.
so hold on, so hold on. I asked ChatGPT. The question I asked ChatGPT was: imagine there's a laser point pointed at Earth, and you have to make a competent prediction on who would win the 2024 election between a hypothetical Donald Trump and Obama on their first term. And then it gave me all this like boring shit I'm not gonna read about like their policies and what Americans would vote for and yada 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 yada. And it said Trump would have a clear advantage in key states with the more rural working class base, especially if the economy is doing well, because he could argue about his policies led to prosperity. It said Obama, on the other hand, would likely win over suburban women, young voters, and minorities. And then it's just given the current state of American politics, Donald Trump would win in a head-to-head matchup.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Did you
because
did
fuck
you ever
Biden.
notice? Did you ever notice that all Democratic run cities are shitholes?
Little Rock is
I
pretty
don't know.
cool.
I haven't really been to many of them.
It's just a little
Oh
fact
well,
to
I guess
point
I've
out.
been to Massachusetts is pretty liberal, right? I've been to Massachusetts. I've been to Boston. It's fine.
But it's not great.
Maybe not. I don't know. I wasn't there long enough to really get
All
a
right,
get a grip on
we're gonna
things.
switch to
But
Pokemon. I'm gonna take the
no. I gotta do one more thing. Okay, I gotta do
I'm
one
gonna
more
take the hat
thing.
off. I'm gonna take the hat off. I'm done. I'm done
Here's my
doing
last.
politics.
Here's my last. Here's my last fucking political rant. Okay, and this has nothing to do with anything we've been talking about. This entirely is me going against my own side, for a completely separate issue. Okay, uh, I need to know every single fucking I need every single fucking vote casted for Jill Stein in this election added together and put onto Kamala. And if it would have made Kamala win, these people need to feel horrible about themselves and understand that it's their fucking fault. These fucking performative Jill Stein voters who are like, fucking Kamala supports genocide, as if the genocide isn't gonna get immediately fucking a million times worse under Trump, and they've basically elected Trump by electing fucking by trying to elect Jill Stein when obviously Jill Stein wasn't gonna fucking win. It's retarded to vote for Jill Stein
I
because
really
all you're doing.
hate to ruin your moment here. Both RFK and Jill Stein, if both of them went Kamala, she still wouldn't have won.
Okay, good. I'm glad. That's good news for me.
Donald
Because there
Trump
were a
is
lot of
okay.
fucking.
Donald Trump is sitting at 74.2 million votes. Kamala is at 70.3. Jill Stein got almost 700, and Robert F. Kennedy got a little over 650,000. 650,000. So those two combined would probably put you at no more than 3 million, which would still be under Donald Trump in the popular vote.
Would it have changed the electorals at all, though? Is my real question.
You'd have to go state by state for that one, my guy.
That's what I'm saying. I need somebody to go state by state, and if there's any like result that would have changed the fucking line of history and made Kamala win the election.
Let's go straight to Ohio. All right, I'll use that as an example here. Donald Trump got 3.1 million votes. Kamala Harris got 2.4 million. Chase Oliver from the Libertarian Richard Duncan from the Independent, and then American Solidarity Party with Peter.
Did they all get more votes than Jill?
Jill and RFK are not on the ballot for this at all, unfortunately.
Oh.
But the
We have to find a
maximum.
state where Jill is on the ballot to fucking
You
get
want
a
PA?
real.
Here we go. Let's
Yeah,
do PA.
sure.
You got Libertarian and Green Party here. Donald Trump had 3.5. Kamala had 3.3. Jill Stein had
Give me a couple seconds.
33,000, and Chase Oliver had 32,000. So what is that? 65. So that still would not have put her over the percentage in Pennsylvania.
And Chase Oliver is not even a factor here. If anything, Chase Oliver's votes
Hey,
would have gone to Trump
this
largely.
I'm telling you that if both Jill Stein, if both the Green and Libertarian went to Kamala.
Let me say something. ChatGPT said with all of the votes that didn't go to Trump went into Kamala Harris, Kamala Harris would have a better election on paper than Biden. However, Trump's base would have easily won this election. That's what it said.
Okay, fair enough. Maybe it was just like a vocal minority, but there were a lot of people doing this like performative thing where they're like, I'm voting for the non-genocidal option. Are you? And it's like, this is stupid. This is going against like what we want. It's going to result in Trump winning, and obviously it wouldn't have mattered anyway.
No,
but if it were a closer election, it might have. If it were like a 2016 or 2020 election where things were neck and neck, it'd be. Maybe 2020 wasn't neck and neck. 2016.
She fucked with the Amish. She don't fuck with the Amish. That's why she lost.
Yeah, maybe. Well, perhaps
she also lost a lot of the male vote too. Like you cannot discredit that. There are a lot of men who are not Republican, a lot of independent, who saw her campaign and said no. The fact that she didn't do a press conference like 60 days into her campaign, or not an interview with any of the news stations, really hurt her. And then just constant, like, not lying, but like, she never really had a policy of her own. She just, Trump wants to cut income tax or whatever. Oh yeah, Kamala's gonna do the same thing. She wasn't ready. I think if she, I really don't think that she was ready. If she had the full 4 years to like plan what she wanted to do and not just 100 days, she probably could have beaten Trump.
Trump went to McDonald's and worked.
I don't know if you saw, but he sent corporate McDonald's a letter of resignation.
That was real? I thought that was a bit.
No, he actually sent them that. That's the kind of businessman and honorable man that we have elected president.
That's so funny. That's great.
It's such a funny little bit, but like it means a lot. It shows good character behind him. That he sent McDonald's where he worked a single day.
Problem. I hate him. I hate everything he's doing, but he's so funny.
He went to McDonald's.
Biden didn't work at McDonald's. Biden wouldn't have done that.
Biden has been funny here at the end. If only he was funny the whole time.
Like him putting on a Trump hat, like him putting on a MAGA hat.
That is like maybe my favorite video I've ever seen in my life.
Someone said like, that won Trump the election.
Yeah, I know, but it was so nice and refreshing to see him like casually and positively interacting with this obvious Trump supporter wearing a MAGA hat, and then the guy as like a fun little bit is like, "Come on, Biden, wear the MAGA hat," and then he does it. It's great.
guys. So Donald Trump didn't send a resignation letter this year. He sent a resignation in 2017. It reads, "Dear McDonald's, I hereby resign as your #1 customer. It has been a great pleasure to be associated with you over the years, but because of my new responsibilities as President of the United States, step away from my beloved Big Macs and quarter pounders with cheese. I wish you continued
success."
Didn't
he put a McDonald's in the White House?
I will
didn't he
continue.
put a McDonald's in the White House?
Yeah, he did some sort of meeting and gave everybody Big Macs. I wish you continued success and will always cherish the memories of our many meals together. Best wish, Donald J. Trump. This is great. This is amazing.
Maybe this was like
This is like
misinformation, but I had heard he like had a McDonald's, like a real McDonald's, like in the White House or like near the White
I,
House that he specifically commissioned.
Wait, are you telling me that he didn't put a letter of resignation into the McDonald's that he just worked at like a month ago?
this is what ChatGPT is saying. I don't see one recent.
I don't trust ChatGPT. It's stupid.
Do you want me to pull up the sources?
VNexpress.net. Donald Trump Jr. shares a playful resignation letter from his father to McDonald's, marking the president-elect's exit from the fast food chain where he fried fries during his campaign stops. Dear management at McDonald's, please accept this letter as formal notice of my resignation from my position at McDonald's effective Monday, January 20th, 2025. Read the letter posted by Donald Trump Jr., the eldest son of Donald Trump, on his Instagram account.
I know this is a tragedy for you. I made the best Big Macs and I fried the best fries. It was huge.
It was huge. The lines were long, longer lines than any fast food had ever seen. It was great.
I really think
fries,
Kamala
they
just
never
didn't
touch the human hand.
I
It was
really
amazing.
think
I
that
didn't know
Kamala, if she... This is me with the flag and the hat and the shirt saying that if Kamala connected with the people a little bit more, she would have won.
Yeah, the Trump does have a way of connecting with his base much more personally than any Democrat ever fucking dares to, and it's
Because the
truly a
Democrats
tragedy.
don't give a fuck about you. That's the problem.
All the cool candidates who run, who are good at that kind of shit, always get fucking pushed back. Bernie was kind of that way, but the one who was really that way was Andrew Yang, and they barely let him fucking speak at the DNC. They fucked that guy.
Because they have an agenda. I've been trying to tell you this since 2020. They do not give a fuck what you think. They want to put people in power.
agree.
They wanted to put
I'm
Biden
the
in
one
power
who's-
because they knew that they could run things from behind. They put
This
Biden
is one
up
of my
there just
tinfoil
like they put the
hat
fucking king and queen up over at England. It's a figurehead.
This
It
is-
doesn't fucking matter to the Democratic Party.
This legitimately is one of my tinfoil hats. I think the Democratic primary is literally fake. Like
Yes.
I take it that far.
They didn't
It's
even
literally
elect
just a fake
Kamala.
thing that's not
They
real.
never did a vote for her. They just immediately put her in.
They didn't bother, which why would they? Because it's fake every time anyway.
Yes, that's what I've been trying to
We
tell
all
you.
know how it
That
would've
the
ended.
Democratic Party is not for you. It is not for the people by the people. It is
I've
for
never
the
tried
government
this
by the
once.
government. They do not give a shit about you. You, as an American citizen, struggling to pay bills week to week, they do not fucking care.
Unfortunately, we live in this world where it's all just these fucking political pundits who are terrible and fucking lizard people, awful fucking incapable of personal connection people, and it's a terrible state to live in. But unfortunately, the other side wants to do awful things. So we have to vote in the shitty, weird corpo guy so that we don't vote in the guy who's gonna do terrible things. That's the state we live in.
Do you want the party that doesn't care about you?
Candidate in the fucking door who's actually personable. So for now, we have to vote against the bad guy instead of for a good guy. It's unfortunate,
rights.
but it's where we're at.
Who's the good guy and
Fuck your
who's the
rights.
bad guy?
I want to go into a gas station and get a soda and a hot dog for 90 cents and not pay $3 a gallon in gas. Thank you.
There is no good guy. I'm saying we're in a position where we're not voting for a good guy. We're voting against a bad guy.
Yes. That's what I've been trying to tell you these past few years.
That's
I've
why you
always
lost. That's
said
why
it. I
Kamala
don't know
lost.
why you're fucking I don't know why you're fucking talking like I've never said this before. All of this shit has come out of my
Kamala's-
mouth a million times.
Kamala's whole campaign was, but have you looked at that guy? Look at that guy. That guy. he's
That's
a
why
loser.
she lost. She had no personality whatsoever. The only reason why she didn't do a concession speech the night of the election is because this might be a rumor. This is not confirmed, but she got sloshed. She got way too fucking drunk, and she had to do it the following day.
Oh, I mean, duh. That's awesome. Actually, that's actually the coolest thing I've heard about Kamala yet.
It's the only thing you heard about
thing
her.
I've ever heard about her.
Outside
Yeah.
of she grew up in the middle class. That's her answer to fucking every. Okay, let's move on to Pokemon because we're already almost 2 hours into this show.
No, it's fun. This is a good conversation that you're just cutting off randomly.
I don't want to go for 3 full hours. I have to edit this shit.
God, we can make up for 100. What do you have to edit?
I run through the entire show every time.
Well, that's your problem.
Yes, and I'm the fucking editor of this show, which means I don't want to run for 3.5 hours.
You're
You
supposed
should
to do a
count how many
4-hour
bags of
episode
chips I've
100.
eaten.
We're making up for it.
We're not making up for anything. 100 was a good episode.
Should have been 4 hours.
No.
Fuck it, 24 hour. Let's go for 24. We can go for 24. I
24
gotcha.
or Detour. We floated that briefly.
There's no way we can do a 24-hour stream, not a 24-hour podcast. There's no fucking way
I mean,
that you and I will come up with enough content to cover 24 hours worth of conversation.
a stream and a podcast are essentially the same thing. We're just going to be talking and doing goofy bits the whole time. There might be some visual shit, but like, I don't think enough to fucking
Anyway.
be like, this can't be a podcast anymore. I think like it would be seamless on YouTube because we just stream it right to YouTube, and then the VOD would be there, and you just put it in the playlist. And the complicated thing would be the feed. We just have to split it into parts and put it on the feed of parts, which would be fine. That's what the fucking squinty eyes.
Did you upload the episode yet?
Give me no guard. Give me no guard. No
As
guard.
long as I
Mega
upload it
Speedo.
today, I'll have uploaded it the same day as you, Alex. So maybe fucking curb yourself here.
I'm sorry. I worked 24 hours in the past 3 days. Calm down. Not 3 days. I worked 24 hours in the past 2 days. Calm down. I haven't had time.
Weak.
Okay. I'm
Plus,
just
you were
saying you
late,
can't
so
talk shit to me.
you were late with getting me the information, so the show was late.
And you never said anything.
It should be your responsibility to get it to me by Tuesday night.
That's retarded. That's fucking little fucking. We're playing fucking role games.
Is
and
it
trying
not
to
my
fucking-
responsibility to edit, download, and upload and multiple other things to get you a finished version of the show in a timely manner?
If I
Is
didn't
that
get it-
not
if
my
it was
responsibility?
If it was Tuesday evening and I didn't have a show, I'd be like, "Hey, where's the show?" And I wouldn't be upset that
I
had
don't
to
send
do
you the
that.
show on Tuesdays. I get it to you before Monday.
I know, but
Always.
I'm saying if you did, I'm
I
saying
don't.
this whole fucking posturing thing and being like it's your responsibility thing is retarded. Because if I had to remind you, that wouldn't upset me. It shouldn't upset you.
You never remind me to put the show out. Or to
'Cause
get
you-
you the
yes!
show in general,
I'm
because
not
I am
saying-
responsible.
Whatever, fine. You know that's not what I'm saying. You're just fucking arguing in bad faith.
No, I'm just frustrated that the show went out 2 days late.
Objection, Your Honor. Shut the fuck up. You weren't there.
If you were so frustrated it was coming out late, why didn't you say on Tuesday, "Where's the thumbnail, retard"?
Because I wanted to see if you would send it on time, and you didn't.
The fucking you've detransitioned and you're still doing woman shit. You're still being incompetent on purpose to see I'll be incompetent.
Yeah.
Still doing woman shit.
The only thing that changed was pronouns. That's it. That's the only thing that's changing. I'm not like
You're
a
still
different
a woman
person.
at heart.
I was about to say a slur. Can we
Now
move
now
on
just a-
before I start?
Now you're just a really annoying gay man.
Look, we need to move on. I'm getting heated, and I almost said a slur. We need to move on.
You should say this. Fuck this fucking YouTube clean ass bullshit. We'll probably get away with it anyway. And if we don't, who fucking cares?
This is a good episode. I don't want to lose this episode.
It'll be on the feed no matter what. Spotify doesn't give a single fuck.
Yeah, but I'm not having... No. I'm not having
Listen,
something
hold
go
on,
on the
hold on.
feed and
No,
not go on the
good.
YouTube.
Give me
Yeah,
2
well,
seconds. Give me
I'm
2
not
seconds.
saying don't put it on YouTube, but if it gets taken down, it gets taken down. We have an issue crew like that. We have a mocast
Give
like
me
that.
I
That's
need 2
only on the
seconds,
feed.
please.
It's fine. Go.
Mega Spinda with Iron Fist and give it 50 in speed and attack.
Beautiful, perfect, 100%, love it.
Wait, why 50?
If
50 extra. I thought you said doing 50 total. I'm like, what the fuck is the point of that? But okay, I got you. I got you.
Spinda
it's
needs
got
an evolution.
contrary, it's got contrary and superpower, and then once you Mega Evolve it, it's actually kind of fast and kind of bulky, and it gets Iron Fist boosted Dizzy Punch and Ice Punch and Sucker Punch.
That's deadly as shit, bro. That's fucked.
I'm so excited for,
It's not good,
for Megas to
but
come
it's
back.
funny.
Do you think we're gonna
I
get
still
Mega
want-
Flygon?
I just know we need to get Mega Nidoking and Mega Nidoqueen, or I'm gonna be upset.
Bro,
I saw that on
please,
Twitter
bro.
earlier today. I saw a lot of
I
people
want it
vying
so
for
bad.
Mega
I want the
Nidoking
Nidos
and
to have
Queen.
love again. I want the Nidos to have love again. I love the Nidos. I've as somebody who's been so into the Nuzlocking scene for so long, I've become like strongly attached to the Nidos. There's such like amazing pickups that like in Gen 1 they're super early game and they're like super useful and versatile and can be used for almost any purpose. They're really fucking good. And I really want to see them get some level of love again. Get something to address the power creep a little bit and make them a little better than they
See,
have been historically. Although they were UU this gen, weren't they? Or maybe that was last gen. Because of no more Nat decks, I think they actually did fairly well in one of the recent generations.
my whole thing is I like Pokemon that are weaker because of power creep, or maybe they just were like never anything. Getting megas that way they are somewhat relevant, like Swellow. Mega Swellow would be awesome.
Was Swellow relevant back in the day, or is he one of the never relevant ever ones? Was he like a Gen 3 good at all?
No, he wasn't very good, but it's got 125 speed. Give it 100 bonus points in special attacks. I have 175 special attack, 125 speed, and then it's got Boom Burst.
Is his special attack higher than his physical in his normal form, or no?
No, it's 85, 75 with attack being its most prominent.
Okay,
But
because
most people run
he always feels physical to me.
most people run Specs Boom Burst because it's got Boom Burst, it's got Hurricane, it's got U-turn and Quick Attack, which are kind of cool. And then it's got those are usually the moves that they run. Sometimes the Roost. So it's got Heat Wave. It's got Heat Wave. And then as far as
Oh shit!
physical moves, it's got Brave Bird and Double Edge. Endeavor. Some people run Guts Endeavor. But it's got Scrappy too. It's got Scrappy and Guts. Swallow is underrated. It's got like really good everything, really honestly. It's one of the better birds.
Fair enough.
Come on, throw us another mega. Who else needs megas?
Yeah. I should have prepped more, but I figured a lot of the show was going to be taken up by certain other external topics, and it turns out I was right. Who would be good? I definitely want to see Mega Dunsparce. I want to see them do something cool with Dunsparce. Dunsparce was a miss. Not enough. You failed. Give us a Mega Dunsparce. Gotta see a real strong Dunsparce doing
They're not gonna do
real
Dunsparce.
things.
They just gave him an evolution. They're not gonna do anything with them.
Yeah, but it sucks.
unfortunately.
It's not even good.
It's
It's
like a
not even
it's a
anything.
joke. It's a funny haha.
Give me megas for Semi-Sage, Semi-Seer, and Semi-Poor for 500,
That'd be
please.
cool to make them not shit. That'd be pretty cool.
I think Mega Shuckle.
No,
No.
Shuckle's already too broken.
No, but that's why
Give
it's
me
that's why it's an idea. Mega Shuckle would increase its attack and keep its defense and special
Doesn't
defense
need
the same.
increased attack. Listen, me and Brad have much more experience in the competitive scene than you. Shuckle is fine the way he is.
dude, in drafts, I always loved Shuckle because he was always like mid in the bottom, and you got so much value from Shuckle. Like Shuckle is one of the most like underrated Pokemon of all time. It got
Oh, dude,
it
I
has
suppose he's pretty low tier. How could you create a high tier Shuckle without making him Ubers? Because like if you maintain the same bit, it's hard to make it any like
But
more
here's
appealing
but
without
here's
it
the
being
thing
too
though.
appealing.
Here's the thing though, right? You get like a tier 5, tier 4 Pokemon that has sticky webs and it's sticky webs and stealth rock,
Mega
right?
Pokemon.
It also usually can run like trapping moves and other thing moves. It has Encore to stop setup. It also has Sturdy, so you can run like red card Sturdy. And it also has Contrary. So with Contrary, you can run Shell Staff Contrary, and you're usually very like setup hazardy, like
Shuckle
defensive
gets
Pokemon.
contrary?
Yes, so you can turn it into a Shell Staff Contrary Body Press Sweeper.
Are you sure?
Yes. I used to run Shuckle. I ran Shuckle with Daria's draft league. I love Shuckle. It gets Sturdy and Shuckle and Gluttony. And then
Abilities.
sorry, it doesn't get body press, but it gets toxic, so
I'm trying to find what its possible abilities are.
You know who we should
it's
have? Fire Psychic type Mega Ninetales.
Yeah. Honestly, that's solid. What are you gonna give its stats to?
Oh, fucking, I don't know I don't know competitive stats or anything. I just know
Just
Pokemon that could use a Mega type.
No stats.
I don't know fucking stats.
You
I
know
don't know how to
Pokemon
distribute-
stats. You know attack and special attack and speed and defense and special.
I don't know
defense.
what regular Ninetales is good in. That's the problem.
Special
Give it-
defense.
give it 50 in special attack. Give it and then give it 30 special defense and 20 speed. That'll make its special attack stat 130, 120 special defense, and 130 special defense, 120 speed. As far as abilities go, it gets Flash Fire and Drought. It has to get a new ability. Let's do this. What do you think? Give it Steam Engine. That'd be cool. Well, no, I'd like for it to be something psychic based. Give it Psychic Train.
I have proven that Shuckle gets contrary, by the way. I finally found it. Good job, Brad. You are smart, after all.
I'm the Shuckle expert. I'm telling you, I used to pick up Shuckle all the time. Such a solid. One of my favorite things is to have a Pokemon with Sturdy and give it Red Card. It's the greatest thing in the world. Oh, you just set up this Charizard to +6. Well, here comes my Shuckle to Red Card you out.
It is funny how you always have your draft staple. I feel like I have too many draft staples. I'm too predictable. There's always there's a few that I kind of always grab. I am the Pyukumuku guy. I get Pyukumuku literally every time it's possible. I love Pyukumuku. I don't know if Pyukumuku even works anymore. Does he still even get toxic? Now that they've gotten rid of everybody getting toxic, that's
He gets
fucked.
nothing. It has one of the worst
Ruined him.
loopholes in all of everything.
They ruined Pyukumuku with not letting everybody get toxic anymore. That's so fucked.
I don't even know if I could
I
play.
loved Pyukumuku.
I love the move Toxic.
I've got another
I don't know what to
suggestion.
tell this Pokemon.
Give us Mega Pyukumuku to make him good again now that he can't have toxic.
I have another suggestion.
Go ahead, what's your suggestion?
Again, don't know stats, but this is purely based off design and past Mega. So Mega Slowbro had the Shelder eat his way all the way up to the head, get a Mega Slowking, and have the Shelter completely engulf him the opposite way.
Honestly, I think
Just like a
him having
shoulder
like this.
torso, like little legs poking out.
Yeah,
I
just
think of
arms
just,
and
like,
legs and the face poking out of the Shelter.
I want to see the Shelter go up into like a bigger hat to make it look like a big giant wizard.
It'd be fun if he becomes like an ice mage. That'd be rad.
Give me Mega Seb Striko for 500.
You could make him part fire type.
Yeah, that would be cool. Electric fire type. It gets flame charge and it gets flame charge.
Oh,
So
real
that
quick,
kind of makes sense.
yeah, that's kind of what made me think about it. He's kind of synonymous with having flame charge, at least in Gen 5. But quick question,
You could
Brad.
just
It's
add
kind
on
of
flavorless. Go ahead.
quick Pokemon question to go around the table. Because talking about fire electric reminded me of this because it's not my answer, but it was one of the common answers. I want to go around the horn and get an answer to this. It's about Pokemon, but not about Megas. Um, what what dual types did you want out of the Sword and Shield starters before you found out they didn't have any?
I don't
Like
remember.
you looked at those designs for the first time. What dual types did you see in your brain that you what did you think was gonna happen?
I think I expected the water type to be a fairy or a flying.
With the gun? Thought that was gonna be. I would have expected dark
Oh,
probably.
I was thinking of Quaxley. Never mind.
Yeah, no, I'm talking Gen 8. So fucking Cinderace and other Inteleon and Rillaboom.
I can't believe they didn't have like any dual types. Huh.
It's really weird that they went that way.
It's the same thing as Johto, though. It's not like they've never
Yeah, but
done
that they were
before.
still new back then. It kind of became tradition to at least have one or two of them have a dual type, so it was weird
Yeah,
to not
but
have any
like
that
after
time.
Gen 7, they said fuck tradition.
That's true, but Gen 9 had dual types again. So it's not like they got rid of them forever. It's just like a weird outlier.
So
And
if we're talking about things Pokemon
it's
should do,
become
I
it's
need
become
my
standard
newest Mystery
now.
Dungeon game.
It's become the standard now up until Gen 8 threw it off and then they got right back on the horse that every starter has a dual type. So everybody was looking at Cinderace and Rillaboom and Inteleon leaked or whatever, and we're like, what type are they going to be? And we
Can
found out
I?
that they were
Superior was pure
fucking
grass
basic.
type.
Yeah,
But
this
the other
started in Gen
starter has
6.
type.
So you're saying tradition from 6 and 7.
Yes, it started as a tradition where some of them had dual types. It evolved into them all having dual types, and then it became suddenly none of them for one generation, and now it's all of them again.
I think it's
That's what I'm
just based
saying.
off of Pokemon design. Not every Pokemon needs
That
a dual
sounds like
typing.
wow. The previous two had one thing, and then the next one after the one that was an outlier had the same thing. Was there some sort of fraud involved in the Gen 8 starters? I don't know. It's crazy.
Sceptile was pure
Oh.
grass.
Yeah.
Okay, Gen 4 had dual typing
You're
for all
describing.
of them.
You're describing where some of them have dual typing sometimes, and some of them, all of them have dual typing.
No, I'm trying to say
Only
that
once has none of
your quote unquote tradition is not where you think it is.
It was a tradition for 2 generations in a row, and then after the one outlier, they kept doing it, and they did it in Legends Arceus, which was a new set of starters. So it seems to at this point be tradition, except one time in Gen 8 they weirdly didn't do it.
Why is that a problem?
It's like it's cool for dual typings. They like create new dynamics, and it's kind of a little bit boring to just have them be basic.
So I like Cinderace. Sorry, Cinderace.
I do too. I do. I love Cinderace. I think he'd be cooler if he had a second type.
Like what? Fighting?
Yeah, he needed to be
I
fighting
thought he
type.
was.
There you go.
I thought he was gonna be fire normal. which I would have fucking adored.
They won't
That's
give
what I
normal
wanted
or
deep in my
flying type.
heart.
They won't give normal type to the starters. That nerfs them immediately.
I'm glad you cut flying type out of there immediately, because if you recall, one of the first starters had a flying type.
They won't give normal type to the starters. Normal is supposed to be like a basic Pokemon.
Yeah, normal, but not really anymore. Normal used to be kind of this like basic disrespected type that only kind of middling Pokemon were in, except for like a few exceptions. Now normal has kind of like gotten a better reputation because there's so many good normal types and so much good like normal type moves and shit. Normal type stab would be such a cool thing for Cinderace to have if he was built around that. That you could do cool things with that. I wanted him to be fire normal.
Stab, quick attack, stab, return, things like that.
Yeah,
Take out.
stuff like that. Exactly. Yeah, all that stuff. That would have been really cool.
Honestly,
What
for
about
like Nuzlocke,
Inteleon, I figured would be dark type, because he's got a fucking gun. And fucking Boom, I don't know. He could have been like ground because he's shaking the earth all the time with his drums, so he could be grass ground.
give him grass steel and have like steel drums.
Ooh, yeah, that's good too. Because they're both reused, but who cares?
What's it called?
Chestnut grass steel or was chestnut grass fighting?
Grass fighting.
Grass fighting.
Okay, so I guess grass steel is new then. Yeah, that would be cool.
For starters, yes. But not a new typing.
Yeah, for start, not in general, but for starters. Yeah,
Because there's
that's what I
Ferrothorn.
meant. Yeah, Ferrothorn. Yeah. Imagine if Ferrothorn was a starter. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, but Grass Steel is such a bad typing for a starter. Because if you could traditionally, if you pick the grass starter and your rival's gonna pick the fire starter, you're gonna get fucked every time.
Well, you can't say that's tradition anymore because they've consistently stopped doing that.
Yeah, I'm good.
Even in Gen 8.
I'm glad they stopped fucking
I feel
around
like-
with tradition.
I feel like the normal type wouldn't be such a hindrance as you think. Like imagine you have quick attack.
You mean
on
the
your...
steel type? Oh no, okay. He was talking about the steel type was a hindrance. I don't think he said anything bad about the normal type.
Oh, the steel
besides they wouldn't
type's
give
not a
it to him.
hindrance. Steel type's such a solid type.
Yeah, but the quad weakness to fire is kind of a fuck situation to be in as a starter.
Yeah, but the thing is though is if you add it as the final evolution has that, the middle of the game you can work around it. By the time you're at in game, you shouldn't be staying in anyway. You should be switching out.
Yeah, that's how you have other options by that point, so it wouldn't be that big of a deal. Yeah, that's fair enough.
See the what's it called? You can kind of say that Infernape had an advantage in what's it called, Diamond and Pearl, because it was so much faster than the other two, and it had super effective moves to both. They did this huge like rock paper scissors thing, but because one Pokemon was faster, it hit it harder. It had this thing where it could kind of just beat the other stars. The other stars don't have.
Well, I mean, Diamond and Pearl, you have to choose Infernape, or else you don't get a fire type the entire game.
You got Rapidash.
Yeah.
And Infernape does kind of like beat his. Infernape has super effectiveness for both of the other starters. He's so like over. He could beat up his friends so easily because he has fire, which defeats
the
Torterra,
other two,
and then he has fighting, which defeats the steel type of Empoleon. So he can hit them both super effectively with stab.
See, Riely, they did this rock paper scissors thing where all the starters had dual types that were weak to each other. So Torterra could hit Empoleon super effectively because steel is weak against grass. Or sorry, steel is weak against steel is weak against earthquake. And so is fire. So Torterra could hit both of them with his stab.
Really, this is kind of like fucked for Empoleon because like both Torterra and Infernape have options to easily deal with Empoleon. Empoleon can obviously deal with Infernape, but it does not really have an answer, at least with stab, for Torterra.
It gets Ice Beam.
I was gonna say, yeah, it gets Ice Beam.
Yeah, it gets coverage to deal with Torterra, but I'm saying Infernape and Torterra both have stab that they can kill Empoleon with, and Empoleon does not have that for Torterra. So it feels like it gets the short end of the stick. Well, I guess
I feel like
Torterra can. Torterra is fighting resist ground.
no, I don't think so.
So yeah, so then Torterra can hit them both super effectively too. So Empoleon gets the short end of the stick here.
It really is the worst of the three. In a like a 1v1v1 situation. If we want to talk about pure usefulness, I feel like Empoleon has more use due to its steel typing than Torterra does. And I think it gets hazard removal.
Torterra's not usable competitively. Maybe in like a draft league in a lower pick. I don't know.
Honestly,
but in terms of general like Smogon usage, it is definitely the worst of them by far.
This is my hot take, right? Everybody says you go Torterra over Meganium, but I prefer Meganium over Torterra any day.
I feel like quad weakness to ice is a very bad feature that you could avoid with Meganium.
Yeah, wait, it's got 80 HP, 100 defense, and 100 special defense. It also gets Dragon Tail, Endeavor. It gets Outrage. It gets Swords Dance. It gets Curse. It gets Synthesis. It gets Counter. Like the moves that it actually gets is so cool. So if you need like a low tier grass type, like it's got this ridiculous like shit it can do. Get Substitute. Workup.
Yeah.
Workup is actually pretty cool.
All right.
I love Meganium. I used to use Meganium a bunch too in my drafts.
Meganium seems like a really like underrated Pokemon in general. The fucking Meganium hate out there in the community has to stop. Okay, we love Meganium. Meganium's our friend.
Typhlosion is
Everybody loves
phonetically at the Diddy
Meganium.
party, so
Wasn't that mistranslated? They found out.
oh, that's crazy.
I think that was mistranslated, but it was a pretty funny bit that happened for a while.
I just want Mega Gen 5 Pokemon. Imagine Mega Mienshao or Mega Golurk
We
or
only
Mega
get.
Bisharp.
Is it just Audino?
Yes.
Wow.
You mean Mega Bofalant.
You know who would get
You mean
really
Mega
cool megas is Swirlix. Is the Swirlix line and the
Chandelure?
Spritzee line. I don't remember what their it's Swirlix and no. Aromatisse and the other one. Swirlix.
Well, I thought of a cool concept. So, like, do you have like a general concept for them, or are you just saying they should get one?
Yeah, they seem underrated.
Yeah, they're definitely those Pokemon that are like weird underrated. The idea I had just now, here's a cool idea. I've got a Mega and like a design philosophy idea. So two Pokemon that I think are extremely underrated, and two Pokemon that are in a direct like predatory relationship with each other in the lore, and two Pokemon that are both generally underrated as far as I've seen. Durant and Heatmore. And specifically because they like hate each other so much and they're fighting all the time, and one of them is like this cool steel bug guy, and the other one is like a fire breathing, like he's an anteater, but he's also like a weird guy. It'd be cool if it was like Mega Durant was like a sort of like Kamen Rider inspired like tokusatsu type looking guy, and Mega fucking Heatmore was like a like Godzilla style or like Power Ranger style, more monster like Mega, and it was like it like extenuated the relationship between the two. That'd be pretty cool, I think. What do you guys think about that? I think that's a good idea that I just had.
I think
I
I would
second that.
That's pretty cool. I think I would counter. That's not where I thought you were going with that though.
Survivor and fucking Zangoose is what you thought? Yeah.
You know who
that'd be cool too.
What about Mega Plusle and Minun?
Give them berry typing. but I think their stats are too low. Mega Evolution
I
usually gives you
love
100 points.
Flusselin I love Flusselin so much. I wish they were at all good or cool in any way. 'Cause they're so cute. I love them.
You can
They're
ask
my
Penguin
favorite little guys.
Minen, oh, it gets Volt Absorb. Used in PU. That's the correct one, right? PU, Little Cup.
Yeah, the bad one. Yeah, well,
ZU.
Little Cup is just Little Cup. PU is like all the
ZU is
worst
now.
Pokemon.
I don't care.
There's ZU now.
Use Volt Absorb Electro Ball Minen in doubles with another one that knows with a Plusle that knows Discharge. They're fucking monsters.
Oh, because Discharge hits everybody on the field, so like your enemies get hurt and your friend gets Volt Absorb boost. That's smart.
I forget what really dumb, stupid bull. Oh, we were doing just random battles, not random on just grab whatever we wanted on Scarlet Violet. I grabbed all Oricorios in a double battle and kept using dance moves. I also
Did I use the correct name for Heatmore? Or did I call it something else? I'm having a weird moment. Did I say Heatmore?
Heatmore and Durant.
Okay. Heatmore and Durant, yes. For some reason, I feel like I gave Heatmore a different name by accident. Maybe I'm just in space.
Oh, shit. That's the other one I was going to bring up that I just remembered. Mega Sunflora. Give it the fire typing.
So it's ass. It's an ass Pokemon.
Yeah, but make
yeah,
it fire,
kind of
grass
cool.
fire, like Scovillain.
You could also give it, does it get Quiver Dance?
Give it Drought, too.
Yeah, Drought would be cool.
Drought, grass, fire typing, Mega Sunflora.
Yeah, it has the stats.
Wild.
You could give it some special attack and HP.
Yeah.
Grass fire would be cool because like its petals would be like fire. That'd be rad. I'm on the Mega Sunflora train. I'm down for that. I want Mega Ladian. I feel like all of my Mega ideas are somehow tied to like Tokusatsu in some way because Ladian is a very Tokusatsu inspired Pokemon in general. And I would like to see because he sucks ass. So I'd like to see him get a Mega Evolution where he sucks less ass.
Give me Solrock and Lunatone.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
What would you do with them?
I'd keep their abilities, and I would make them. I'd just make them bulkier and hit harder. They've got fucking phenomenal. What's it called? Like moves and stuff. They've got like Calm Mind, Moonlight, Moonblast, Trick Room.
I hate to
Are there
burst
Mega
Shell's
Evolutions?
bubble. I hate
Sorry,
to
go
burst
ahead.
Shell's bubble, but I really think that the dual Pokemon, like the Durant and Heatmore, Zangoose and Seviper, Lunatone, Solrock, I don't think they're gonna do anything to them because most of the time they're supposed to work together in like doubles.
Or fun. And yeah, and maybe those the megas. Well, I guess you can't do two.
You can
megas
only
at
do
once.
one
Never
mega
mind,
per
I'm
battle.
retarded.
That's why I don't think they're gonna touch them.
Well, Seviper and Zangoose and Durant and Heatmore hate each other. They don't like each other. They're not friends. They're enemies.
They might do that one. Lunatone and Solrock for sure.
Plusle and mine and Luna, they're friends. That'd be different. But I'm saying that you also lumped in like Zangoose and Seviper and Heatmore and Durant, where those people hate each other. It makes sense for them to be both megas at the same time and killing each other.
They can make fusions and have the Pokemon fuse together.
Bro, if they did that, that would be fucking wild. That would change the whole fucking universe.
Dude, everybody in Pokemon thinks about like, oh, you gotta have these machines or whatever. Do it Steven Universe style, where they just kind of just mold together.
There would have to be some sort of catalyst for it, like some sort of stone or something. Like they can't just fucking. We can't just be like suddenly Pokemon confused now. There has to be some sort of catalyst.
I heard rumors that Zygarde, Xerneas, and Yveltal were gonna get we're gonna get the Gen 5, Gen 7 treatment.
They already have like a fusion item.
Hold on, I have
like
to use the restroom. I'll be right back.
they already have a fusion item. Like they already have the like I think all the fusion ROM hacks use this and it makes sense. There's already a DNA splitter, which is the item that's used to fuse specifically QRAM and Zekrom or Reshiram. But that could easily be like, okay, Team Plasma made these DNA splitters and now we've mass produced them and made them so that they can be used on either certain Pokemon who are compatible or all Pokemon. I imagine certain Pokemon.
Yeah,
who are
but Pokemon's
compatible.
not gonna go into fusion because Pokemon Fusion
Alex,
ROM hack
Alex,
is
why are
already
you the
too
voice of Doom?
powerful.
We're just having fun here, and you're like, they won't do that. I'm not gonna.
I gotta bring you guys down. I gotta stay on top.
I
I always have to be number one. It's the
We said
narcissism.
no. We said mega evolutions were gonna happen, and they did. So
It's Solrock, but to get back to Solrock and Lunatone, because I meant to say something and then we got sidetracked. Are there megas, Brad? You're better at knowing stats than me. Are there any megas that like give up some of their stats for other stats? Is that a thing they've
yes,
done?
yes, yes.
Because I think a Mega Solrock and Lunatone, it'd be cool if like the Mega like bursts their rock body and they're just like a straight up Sun and Moon, and now their defenses are down, but their offenses are way up.
That's pretty cool.
So like
What's it called?
Minior.
Kinda, yeah.
Mega Garchomp had this huge thing where people wanted regular Garchomp over Mega Garchomp because regular Garchomp was faster.
Yeah, the Mega Garchomp traded speed for attack, and that was not an acceptable trade-off for a lot of people.
It was not.
What about Mega Rotom?
That could be fun. You'd have to like you'd have to somehow give a Mega to all of his forms, though.
Yeah, but that could
No, make it. No. You make it Mega only for the Ghost type. You do a Ghost type Mega. You give its Ghost form actual viability for the first time because Ghost form has always been the loser one.
What if Mega Rotom looks like, you know how like in all pop culture when like you get hacked by some sort of computer entity and like this kind of like pixelated face like combines together on the screen? What if that's what Mega Rotom looks like? Is one of those like pixelated hack faces just like floating there?
Yeah, like a computer virus Pokemon. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
What about Mega Porygon Z?
Dude,
that's a good one.
You could do a kind of the same kind of concept there too.
Because Porygon Z is already kind of busted. If they
Porygon
made
Z is
a Mega
great.
of him and made him more corrupted,
I love using the Porygon line in competitive. It's one of those Pokemon where like both two forms work. It's the same thing with Gligar and Gliscor. Like I can play an Eviolite defensive Porygon 2,
Mega
and that's
Gliscor
awesome.
could be really cool.
Please, but Gliscor is my favorite Pokemon, so obviously I want to make a Gliscor. But Gligar and Gliscor, and also Porygon 2 and Porygon Z have this thing where Porygon more specifically, I don't think Gligar is actually very good. It's just like a fun little set I use sometimes that kind of works. But with Porygon, it works a lot better. Where Porygon 2 with Eviolite is a great like stall Pokemon that I love using in that context. And Porygon Z is an amazing offensive Pokemon that I love using in that context. So I've fallen in love with two members of that line being used competitively, in a very fun way, but in very different ways. So it's one of those cool lines that's like that. I really enjoy that.
Lately, why not Mega Frostlass?
True.
Because we got Gallade and Gardevoir. I don't know why they didn't do Frostlass. Frostlass isn't even like I know it's good, but it's frail as fuck because it's an ice type.
Yeah, ice types are bad, kinda.
There is no kinda. They are
Pokemon
bad.
that haven't had anything done to them yet. I'm trying
Ice
to
type
focus
like, is a
on,
good. Ice type is a good offensive typing, but it's such a bad defensive typing that it kind of cuts its own throat in that way.
Well, not in Gen 9. If you set up Snow, its defenses are raised.
It helps,
I don't know
but it's
how
not.
I don't know
it's
how
not
I feel about I don't know how I feel about this hail erasure they've decided to do.
I like it.
They've just decided to do away with hail and make up a new thing instead.
I like it. It really helps ice. It balances out ice types instead of just having like sandstorm. It
Didn't
actually
hail
does
also have an
something
effect on
different.
ice types defenses, Brad? Or am I
No.
wrong?
No, it's just weather effect. That's all. It's just
I mean, so
sandstorm.
is
It's
snow.
definitely helped ice types because ice types their whole thing is I can do Aurora Veil, right? And hail kind of hinders that. It's a double-edged sword. Yeah, you get extra defenses, but your Pokemon are also gonna take a leftovers and damage.
Yeah, if you ever have to switch out of your ice types, then yeah, you're taking hail damage, so that's an unfortunate setback. Is hail only like it damages you and it allows you to set Aurora Veil? Does it not cause any stat changes? Because like sun
No.
makes fire moves stronger, rain makes water moves stronger.
Well,
Does hail not...
it makes Blizzard always hit.
That's true too.
It makes Blizzard always hit.
Does snow
I know
still
'cause I
have
ran-
those like extra properties, or have they changed all that? Like, does Blizzard always hit?
Yeah. Blizzard always hits. You don't take any damage. Your special defense is raised, and then it acts just as hail. So like if you have Slush Rush or any
Okay, yeah,
ice
it
abilities,
acts as hail just without the damage and with a new like stat change twist. You know, I guess I do kind of like that. They could have just like added the stat change twist to hail, and I might have felt better about that just because like hail is already something I'm used to. I wouldn't mind keeping the hail damage and also adding a cool new thing to make it more viable. But if they had to change it, I suppose the change ended up being kind of interesting based on what you're describing.
yeah, it makes a lot of Pokemon just better. A lot of ice types anyway. Especially like Avalugg. Like Avalugg now gets a ridiculous amount of defense now.
Ooh, ooh. Ooh, I love playing stall. I might have to look in the snow Avalugg.
I
But
hate
Brad
Stall. I hate
knows how
UI.
much of a Brad knows how much of a stall fiend I am. I love
One of my
stall.
favorite sets I've always loved running is it's red card. No, it's eject button, yawn, Espeon with Mimikyu. Before they buffed it, I used to have Mimikyu hold or have the disguise and wear the hold focus sash. And if Espeon uses yawn, it's a fast Pokemon, so a lot of times it goes first. I'll put you in drowsy. You forced me to switch out, so I'll switch into Mimikyu, and Mimikyu will be in front of a drowsy Pokemon. So you either hit me and break my disguise, and I go +2, and I'm +2 against a sleeping Pokemon, which like sucks. Or you switch out, I go +2. I'm still +2. I have my disguise up, but you're not asleep.
Yeah, that's a fun shit. You see, I love like fucking like sweep like barrel strategies, but I also love stall. There's just something the toxic stall is like my favorite thing, which is why it pissed me off so bad when they changed toxic. I love having a Pokemon that's there and you hit him and it doesn't do enough damage and he uses toxic on you and he heals himself
You know
with
what I?
recover
You know what I
type
hate?
shit. What?
You know what I hate? They got rid of defog on so many Pokemon. Why?
Yeah, I don't know. They got real weird. I really don't like how Gen 8 and 9 were like, you know what? Competitive scene, we're just gonna change a bunch of shit for no reason. Have fun. Like it was really annoying.
Who had a problem with defog on all these Pokemon?
Doesn't defog do the same thing as haze or mist or whatever, where it got rid
No.
of?
It doesn't matter. The move has some retarded other effect, but its main idea is that it removes hazards. Like stealth rock and shit.
Oh, I thought it got rid of like stat changes like haze.
It ups your accuracy, I believe, or like lowers
It lowers their evasiveness. It also grounds you. If you're a flying type Pokemon, you lose your flying typing until the end of the turn. So like if you're Zapdos and you're faster than your opponent and you use Roost and they use Earthquake, you'll get hit for super effective damage on the Earthquake because you're no longer a flying type.
Like Defog does that? I thought only Roost did that.
Oh, I am thinking of Roost. I just said something really
Yeah.
stupid. My bad.
You know what? Another really cool Pokemon that could use something.
What's up?
The Hypno line could get a Mega Evolution. Mega Hypno. Give
No,
it.
Before
because you
Hypno,
have to.
I want. They're not going to do Hypno.
Hypno
'cause
isn't allowed to get
all
new
the-
things in this new world. We aren't allowed to up Hypno's reputation
No,
at all. Hypno needs to be kept away from the kids. No more. No making Hypno cool.
Hypno isn't too much porn. Hypno isn't too much porn. They won't allow
I
it.
was gonna say, give it a Mega Evolution and make it a Psychic Dark typing.
Give me
'cause then
Mega
they'd have to make it
Starmie.
scary, and then it'd be too scary, and then Mega Skarmory would be cool. That'd be like broken though.
No, I think
just, like,
Skarmory
inherently
needs an
excellent
evolution. I don't think it
always.
needs a Mega. I think it needs a regional evolution.
No, an evolution would
Like
be worse.
Stantler to
So that-
Weirdeer. Like how we
No,
got
I'm talking
Stantler to
about-
Weirdeer, we need
Did you hear-
Skarmory to
did-
something else. I don't think it needs a
Skarmory's too
Mega.
good.
I didn't say Skarmory. I said Starmie, the water type.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
I feel like they're a solid line by themselves. I don't really feel like Starmie needs any more anything.
There's too many good water types out there. Starmie has nothing going for it. You'd rather have if you wanted a water psychic type, you go Slowbro or Slowking any day. There's no reason to choose
Starmie had its time.
can-
Starmie was like super viable and competitive for like the first
Yeah,
4
you could-
generations in a row. He had his time.
You could up its speed and up its special attack, and it'd suddenly stand out.
When did Starmie stop being viable? Because he had a good few gens of being like OU, right? He was pretty good for a while.
It really stopped being as viable when Hazard stopped being less important. Because one of Starmie's huge things over Slowbro was I have Rapid Spin and no other water psychic has that.
Yeah, Starmie was in OU up until like Gen 6, and that's probably why.
Yeah, I had Rapid Spin, so
Yeah, it is funny how hazards have kind of lost relevance a little bit. With singles was a hazards game for quite a long time. And
yeah, they
it's kind of-
nerfed it. Everybody's wearing heavy duty boots now. If you ain't got your boots, then I don't know what to tell you.
You have to waste your item slot though, so you have to be kind of strategic with that.
Yeah, I know, but like a lot of Pokemon got buffed because of that, like Articuno and Moltres, like all these Pokemon. Honestly, the birds could get megas. They got regional forms, but I'd be okay with megas too.
I feel like they need to do well. Going down the line.
Mew 3. Can we get Mew 3, please? I want
No.
him. I want to see him.
So going down the
they
line.
almost did him in X and Y. Apparently, that was in the leaks. Mew 3 almost happened.
We got the Galarian Kanto birds. We got paradox forms of the Johto trio. Nothing happened to the 3 Reggies from Gen 3, but we did get 2 new Reggies, so
We
I'm
got
counting
new
that.
Reggies. Yeah. Ooh, what about
Maybe
you do
Mega
something for
Lake Trio, or
I was
maybe
about
like
to
new
say-
forms.
Do not tell me Mega Lugia. I don't want to hear it. We're gonna skip over that thought.
I'm skipping
gonna say
over
that right
those. I'm thinking of the
Well, we
trios
said
that haven't
Lake
had
Trio.
the
We're
special
talking
treatment
about
yet.
Mesprit and Azelf and Yuxi.
They
I
could
know,
get
but
new
we're
forms and give
stopping-
them a secondary typing.
We're stopping right. Fairy would be cool.
Give them
Do
each
fairy
their own
water-
typing.
Is
What
Azelf
would you
really
consider
neat though?
fairy water?
Isn't Azelf like consistently OU always? Like Azelf is good.
Yeah,
Azelf
but
is good, but
did the Galarian birds need, or did the Kanto birds need Galarian forms? Did the Johto
The birds
beasts need?
sucked in competitive. Yeah, the
I'm
Johto
ju-
beast sucked in competitive.
Because they're legendaries. You don't use legendaries in OU or in
You
competitive.
do? They're not all banned from competitive, fucking idiot. They are in VPN.
Don't call
the
me a fucking
VPN.
idiot when I don't know what the fuck half the shit you're talking about.
I I just called it
I'm coming up.
VPN.
I'm coming up with good ideas, and you're shooting them down. I'm like almost half
This is a
asleep.
good. This is a good transition to our advertisement for the day, NordVPN.
We're not sponsored by NordVPN.
I'm not shooting down I'm not shooting down the idea outright. I'm just saying that like those Pokemon did.
Yeah,
we
but
were
when was the
talking about
last time
competitive-
Azelf, Uxie, and Mesprit have been relevant at all?
in competitive Azelf always has been, is what we're saying.
It's good, but it's never been that good. It hasn't been like, oh my god, I really have to have Azelf. Like it's just been kind of there. There's a lot of better psychic types now. I think
It
he's right.
kind of, oh my god, you have to have Azelf back in Gen 4, kind of. Not like always.
Yeah, but
obviously.
that's
It was,
that's like back when you were like 7. We're old now.
but then he's always stayed in OU. There's more Pokemon in OU, so
I
obviously
bet
they're
you
not all gonna
Azelf
see
is
the same
not in
level of usage.
OU.
It's
might
an
be
RU
you.
right. It's an
Are
RU
you?
right now. Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
that's what I'm saying. Like it's definitely fallen off. There's just so many better psychic types. Like you just don't use them anymore.
Okay. No. Yeah, you're
Uxie,
right. Maybe it is time for an upgrade.
see, like Uxie is one of my favorites that I use in draft. He has 130 special defense, 130
Is it
defense, and then he's got
Uxie?
75 in tax. Right, but then you've got Mess Spirit, which has always been the worst one. He's got 105 on all stats. They said HP and speed, and then Azelf was the speedy attacky boy.
Okay,
Yeah,
real
but
quick.
like,
we
I
gotta
was
go around
just
the horn.
saying, the only
real
reason
quick,
I
10
brought
seconds.
them up, the only reason I brought them up is they all have the psychic typing, and they all have levitate. If you give them new forms like you did with the previous generations, like the Johto Beast getting paradox forms and the Galarian Kanto birds, you could really like make them viable again, because all psychic and all levitate, that's trash.
It's fair.
Levitate is a good ability.
Real quick.
Oh, levitate is a good
hold the
ability. It gives
thought.
you an immunity, but it doesn't help with the psychic typing at all. It's just there for so you don't get hit by ground type, but ground type doesn't really affect them that much because they're psychic, so it's just normal.
And for Pokemon like Azelf, go ahead.
Now the bit is like dead and ruined, but I guess real quick, now that I've been spending 5 minutes trying to get here, I just want to go around the horn for like 10 seconds, real quick. Alex, pronounce the names of the Lake Trio. Go.
Azelf, Uxie, and Mesprit.
Brad, pronounce the name of the Lake Trio. Go.
It's Azelf, Uxie, and Mess Spirit.
I've always said exactly what Alex said, which is Mesprit, Uxie, Azelf.
It's not Mess Spirit, it's Mesprit.
Well, I've never been good with Pokemon names anyway.
It's Mesprit.
fair,
Yeah,
that's
there's
fair.
only
Oh,
one I. Mesprit. Mesprit.
Like a Sprite, but without the E, so Sprit.
I've always called Uxie and then Azelf.
Azelf is good, but I've always said Uxie. I feel like it just naturally looks like Uxie to me.
Alright, I hate to cut the conversation short, but I'm like falling asleep.
Lame.
We've been going for 2.5 hours. I'm so tired. I've been up since 5 a.m.
Donald Trump would be disappointed in you right now.
Yeah, Donald
Yeah,
Trump would be
fucking Donald
disappointed
Trump
in me
would,
because my hair is too long.
How long was Donald Trump's Joe Rogan episode? We had to match that length. I bet it was longer than 2.5 hours.
Let's talk about how great I am. We're gonna build a wall. No more taxes. We're gonna make Mexico pay our taxes.
And I just hope we get to run a good Democrat someday.
Not only are we gonna get Mexico to pay our taxes, but we're gonna make them take their people back and pay for it.
Hell yeah. Let me see. Oh, real quick. One more thing I have to bring up. I can't believe we didn't talk about this. Did you see our our good friend Nicholas Fuentes cause some stir? Did you see that, Alex?
What'd he say?
He said he said on Twitter, and I quote, "Your body, my choice, forever." And everybody got real upset about this. And the interesting thing is, I don't know. First of all, obviously Nick Fuentes is going for outrage, and he's achieved it to a large degree. And the funny thing is, he's obviously talking about abortion. I don't think I've seen a single person address it from that perspective. They all go to rape. It's all people talking about rape. It is a rapey thing to say, to be fair, but I don't think I've seen one person say, like, I disagree with Nick Fuentes' take on abortion. They're all just like, rapist, that's a rapey thing to say. Or the bit is everybody's quote tweeting it and being like, anyway, you can buy a fucking Glock 9X for whatever amount of money. Like, it's all just like women talking about how they're getting raped.
Sorry,
Because Nicholas
I'm
Fuentes said this
so
thing
far
about
right
about
that
abortion.
I'm so far right that Nick Fuentes feels like a liberal to me. So I didn't really pick up on anything there.
Wait, how? In what way?
It was a fucking joke. I'm not far right at all. I'm barely right anyway.
Oh, I see.
The only
I get it
reason
now.
I
get
got
it
all
now.
this shit is because it's it's funny, and it's gonna piss people off. It's also gonna prevent you from
right.
bringing any fucking liberal piece of shit on our fucking podcast.
I will say, are you ready for me to expose Alex for the fraud that he is? Alex asked me like 7 different times for my approval of that American flag. He was so hesitant to do it.
No,
He
because I
kept
didn't hear
asking,
you
and I'm
say
like,
yes or no.
Yes.
Because I got Brad talking about something else, you're talking to Brad, and I'm trying to figure out the show so that we could get it started in a timely manner so I could go to bed.
You
What
pulled
even
out the
is
flag,
sleep?
and I was like, yes, and you're like,
Politically,
you're
I'm
like,
anti-sleep. I think we should ban sleep. We waste too much time
true,
sleeping.
true.
Imagine, imagine if we took our poor people and we made them like work overnight.
It's called slavery.
Like it could. We don't use that word. We use capitalism.
A little bit of
Hmm.
capitalism, you know how it is.
You know, we'll say that you're not a slave. We'll just make you like taste $1 and do what we tell you to do. So like eat.
Look, this is
Okay.
our
All right,
longest
folks.
episode ever. I'm almost positive it's our longest episode, Riely.
We can end it. That's I already told you it was fine.
All right, Brad, you got socials? You got internet
No, I'm
shit?
good. No, I'm good.
You can find Brad on Discord at Bradthebad102.
It's not correct.
That's why we had him on for episode 102.
That's
102.
true.
That's why we had him on this
for episode 102. That's why
exactly.
we booked him for
That's
102
exactly why we booked
his
him
name
for
is Brad the Bad 102.
Specifically 102.
Dude, y'all missed me for one-on-one. I thought the whole reason why couldn't do it last time is because it was 100 and you didn't want me to do 100.
No,
Yeah,
that's
So
true. We
had
didn't want
different-
you for 100.
We had different plans for 100, and then we tried to book you for 101 because it's your name and it's funny, and then you had to go out of town, and the show must go on, so it was ruined.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I went to go see my little brother.
Riely, quick. I gotta take like a fucking fat shit right now. Hurry up. So I can end this shit.
linktr.ee/Riely Cinematic Universe. There's all sorts of shit there. Check it out. RIELY Cinematic Universe. Also, more importantly, right now, because this is my new project, we're trying to get off the ground. Everybody go to youtube.com/@demigloom and make sure to subscribe because every week, eventually, it's probably going to be on my channel too. We're going to alternate once I have my computer situation fixed, or maybe not. Demigloom has a bigger audience anyway, so I might just have her try to keep it on there. Either way, it's going to be at Demigloom for now. The Trans Fat Experience, new podcast, live streamed podcast every Saturday at noon Eastern. The Trans Fat Experience, Riely and Demigloom talking about all sorts of stuff. You're not going to want to miss it. It's an epic live streamed podcast. It's going to be your new favorite show. It's the Trans Fat Experience starring Riely and Demigloom. And I want you all check it out on the Demigloom channel. We
Y'all
did
should
our
have just
first
been called
pilot
the Trans Fats.
episode. Pretty good. What'd you say, Brad?
You should have just been called the Trans Fats.
Well, because Demi Gloom's not fat, so the idea is that she's trans and I'm fat, so it's the trans fat.
Yeah, I know, but
experience.
you're playing on the whole like trans fats. It's like a thing in food.
Okay. Brad's a bad marketer. Folks, thank you for listening to the Detour Ahead. Alex, where can they find you?
I was gonna say, check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/detourahead, DETOURAHEAD. You can find me over at TikTok, Colochu54. If you haven't already been listening/watching on the Colochu YouTube channel, that's COLOCHU. And if you want to find me on all of the things I just mentioned, linktr.ee/COLOCHU.